There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a dear heritage bias and oppressive. Oh, I see a nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll and the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobunigwe was stronger than flood, but the Juku's too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody now, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Hey. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is a sign of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh yeah, people of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh yeah.
Biafra is our home. Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to this wonderful Easter morning edition. We want to say happy Easter to Biafrans all over the world. It is our pleasure to be here this morning. And I want to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful program. I really want to say thank you very much for always standing by, following BTV Europe. I know that today is Easter and a lot of people are celebrating. Many are in their churches and places of worship, and it is quite interesting. But this morning we are bringing you an interesting program where we're going to bring analysis, discuss certain issues that are internally troubling to IPOB. This internal trouble of IPOB comes from outside. In fact, 99% of the IPOB internal issues come from outside. And it's quite unfortunate that we have to deal with IPOB internal issues that are being influenced from outside. Most people who bring IPOB problems, most people who influence some of these issues that continue to create internal issue of IPOB from my side does not belong to IPOB. Some of them hired individuals for different services, but they want to interfere with the activities of IPOB, creating friction all over the place. And it's important that we use this platform to address some of these issues, especially when it has to do with the life of our leader, Mazen Namdekano, and his incarceration in Sokoto prison. We've seen people come with different stories about how the position of Mazen Namdekano as a leader is being threatened. We've seen people come to say that there are some individual plotting to take over from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and things like that. These are just insinuations and done on purpose to create unnecessary tension that does not actually exist. So bringing this analysis with me is the fearless evangelist who will be joining me briefly for us to analyze. And also, we hope that some other comrades who are interested would be able to join us as well. I have put out the link out there for our comrades in the media who are available to be part of this interesting Easter morning program, because we're also going to open the line for our people to call in and also make their views known. So subsequently, as we move forward, the number will be on the screen. The number will be on the screen for those who want to call in and participate. So the fearless evangelist, you're welcome to the program, my brother. You're welcome to the program. While we wait for, fearless evangelist, welcome to the program. Happy Easter. Good morning from here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi, for um, welcoming me in this very program. Um, I appreciate the very leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for his effort in establishing IPOB with the understanding of the IPOB members and leadership. So today, we thank the leadership of IPOB who have been handling this very um, sudden situation, eventuality on our way. Our earlier hashtag is Free Biafra, Biafra referendum. But all of a sudden, the Nigerian state took law into their hands and completed it three. And it becomes Free Biafra, Biafra referendum, Free Mazenam Dekano. And we cannot separate them, but we are here to present the facts. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I know that today is Easter. How is the general situation in your area?
Okay. The thing, our people, that is the problem with the Nigerian state, that after the starvation, 67 to 70, after the very policy of deny your identity, 1971, that gave birth to these very wicked leaders, because our good leaders withdraw from denying their identity and punishing or contributing in the policy to punish Igbo people. So they went home, and people like Ojo Zokali, we can see them today. So our people lost their lives, and in naturally we love freedom, like, and holidays and celebration and some other things, because that's why we fight and hustle to succeed, even as the government is not supporting us. The only tribe that the government left to manage themselves. So the situation here is the same way that our people always celebrate in times like this, because our people is naturally um, always want to be. That's why if you go to communities, there are festivals set up by our fathers, and this is just like holiday. After working, sometime you have to celebrate. So when we see this kind of things, it is also our life, our way of life. So people are celebrating Easter, and that is what we are seeing, and that is the situation here since yesterday. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. Thank you for that breaking transmission. We all know how it used to be back then when we were back home, how we used to celebrate Easter as kids. But I know that a lot of things have changed. But we'll be moving into the issue of the day. We've seen controversies all over the place. Mazi Madu Abuchukwu and the role the lawyer of Mazi Madu, his lawyers, and the legal counsel, as I refer to them, the role they are playing, the destabilizing role, and also the role of so many other individuals who doesn't even understand how IPOB function. Is this a kind of a sort of infiltration as well, where you have people who are not part of the IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra as a group, some of them hired to render services, the kind of interference that they do into the affairs of the local. This kind of interference also considered as infiltration or something of that nature.
Okay. Thank you, Mazi. Um, in IPUB, we are a family, but we used to contract people to do some jobs for us. In Biafra land, even when we started here in evangelism in Biafra land, there are good people who does not join IPOB, rich men. They used to call us, they even tell us, if you need money, we can borrow you, you do something. There are people who always go to some people to borrow money for us when we are in need. And after we contributed from our unit, we go and balance the person. Even some microfinance, some things people earlier, people do it for us. So even in the halls where we meet, people give us hall. Some people, we call them for contract to print, we give them contract to print flyers for us. And they cannot control IPOB. The people that gave us their compound or their hall or their church cannot control IPOB. The drivers that we hire to carry us to um, event, venue, they are on their contract. They mind the where we told them to lead us to. We can be going on the road and we get information. We tell the driver to turn, and the duty of the driver is to turn. The driver cannot tell us that we must reach because we are in a mission. We are just contracted, and that is why you have limit of operation. You will walk on your way while the agitation continues. But the way some people, like the area of lawyers, from lawyer trying to involve themselves in the IPOB, that we have earlier separated the lawyers and said they are just lawyers to Mazenam Kano. When Simon brought allegation and said that ESM members are securing Barisifa Ejiofor, we countered it because he is a lawyer. So when lawyers have tried to position themselves as agitators and the government still left them, then it is not normal because we have fought to separate lawyers from being attached to agitation or IPOB activities. But the lawyers keep involving themselves with the name of Mazenam Dekano, which is unprofessional because you are a lawyer. When you start intervening in issues like the people that existed before you were hired, that means you are trying to position yourself as part of the agitation. And the government is just looking at you because you are fully involving yourself instead of having a boundary of operation on legal issues. Since Mazdam Khan is in detention, the lawyers present things that pertain IPUB more than their legal, more than their professional, because this very agitation, we don't do it alone. we send people jobs, we contract people. They have to do that thing we ask them to do. The people we will pay, those that are voluntarily doing it, they will do it for us. They cannot control us because we know what we have at hand. We know how we will guide you. If a lawyer can come up and tell us that followers of Simon Ekpa that we
Yes, I think the fearless is having some connection issues there, and I hope that he will be back. Um, talking about the activities
came
of
up and said
okay,
that these followers of the same people we are saying their operation is not connected to us, that their followers is the same with the followers of our leader, which is we. We said, okay, maybe he didn't understand. He was approached. He insisted and come back and said that we do not even know that Muslim can use to call the person disciple. Trying to tell us our members when he is not a lawyer to tell us our members. Even if you're IPOB lawyer, you are to confirm from IPOB their membership, because you don't have the register of IPOB membership in their unit, um, in their units and zones. So if a lawyer can come up and say this person is the IPOB member because they are following somebody called the disciple, we said no, it is wrong, and the person insisted. It is not professional because we are the people that knows our members. You are just the same with the Nigerian army that get somebody and say it's IPOB member because the person say I am enforcing sit at home for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are the same with them, because if we can distance ourselves from particular people for not less than 10 press releases, and the lawyer that visits our leader, who knows that people are complaining over the actions of these people, that these people should not be connected to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even if there is any way they are linked to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even in the public, you are not supposed to say it, because his actions has nothing to present positively with the actions of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. When you see an ugly actions of somebody, you were pushing, lawyer was pushing, Barrister Ejimako, to make sure Simon is connected with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we said no. They said it is must. After some time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started separating himself, because senators like Abaribe, Elder Olas, even if I'm Yoruba, and some people visited him, both traditional ruler, and told him that these people are destroying something. Are they doing this thing in your name or in your command, under your command? He said no. That's when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started realizing that there is wrong action going on. That's when he started saying those things in court premises. Do you understand? Because they had been guiding the actions of Simon as genuine, as presentable to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, until outsiders started coming. People he trusted, they said no, these things is very bad. Our people are being punished. Did you instruct them? He said no, I did not. But this had been the earlier stand of IPOB, which the lawyers countered and said that he's working with Mazi Nnamdi. We took this stand and we have never failed in our taking positive stands. Now, the lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu recently, not even because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not represented them, have not presented them second term as his lawyers. The last time I knew, they are his consultants, right? But anyway, I will use lawyer for now. Came up, Marcel Okpara. We had a report, something we have been expecting. People even asked that the Alo Ejimako, what about the appeal, the mother of all appeal? Which I have also asked him about the mother of all appeal. It is the case of our leader. We need to hear. Since we have been hearing Onyendu say, we didn't hear about the appeal. But the first time we got the good news from lawyer Thomas Nnamdi Kanu. The good news, he was passing to IPOB that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu leads, and the people of Biafra, that the appeal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been transmitted from Federal High Court to the Appeal Court. A welcome development, because That is his right to appeal. And the duty of the government is to separate themselves and allow the appeal to decide. So now, the next one, the man continued to further that Mazam Khan is okay in detention. Very wrong in presenting such thing, because that is why we want him out. He cannot be okay. And he cannot be completely in detention. Nobody can be in detention completely because you walk through middlemen. You don't have secret in detention. Nobody in detention have secret. No secret. No secret. Warders can come inside your cell at any time. I've been there in 4 years on capital charge. I was discharged and acquitted. Right? Then, for them to come up and tell us that our leader, you can tell us our leader is standing on the struggle he's championing, leading IPOB. But in detention, if there is no disadvantage in detention, then why is it the power of government? Detention facility is the power of government. They do it because there must be leakage. That is to say, you pass through people to people. Your message pass through people to people. And people passes message from people to you. That is to say, not every message will be passed through people to you. And not every message you will pass through people to that person. There is a breach. It's a very serious problem that the lawyers supposed to understand. But you know what? They keep imposing themselves as part of the command of IPOB, but they present our leader. This very lawyer, Maxwell, ended up telling us that some people, because somebody that is in Asorok or somebody that is in government house in Imo State or Owerri cannot be dreaming or wishing Maznam Khan to die so that he will take over IPOB leadership. No.
Now, fearless evangelist, there is already a post.
Okay. So the presentation of this very lawyer was that some people want Maznam Kanu to die in prison so that they will take the leadership of IPOB. And the only people that have the access to take the leadership of IPOB are those in the leadership section, not somebody in Enugu government house, not somebody in Anambra government house, not somebody in Asorok, not somebody in the Senate or House of Rep of Nigeria. So it is an accusation that has to be looked into, because it is not Mazdam Khan that said you should say so. That is why it is setting confusion. That's what I call it. And instigating trouble. That kind of utterance is to bring division. And if you are bringing division, you are working in the interest of the government, pointing fingers at people that have separated Mazam Kano from criminality, the leadership of IPOB that have taken, that organized for Monday sit at home for a reason. What is that reason? That for 2 times, Monday and Thursday, that the court gave order that Mazinam Kanu should be visited. The lawyers, the siblings tried 2 times. The DSS refused them from visiting our leader, the leader of IPOB, Mazinam Kanu. And the leadership of IPOB said no. They have to come up with something. Have they killed our leader? If they have done so, then they have to show us his dead body. If not, if he's still alive, they should allow the lawyers and the siblings, family members, to see him. If they do not do so, starting from next Monday, if the government did not allow them to visit our leader, then our people should prepare for a Monday sit at home. Next 2 Mondays, right? They should prepare for a sit at home every Monday so that the Nigerian state will allow us to know about our leader. This very sit at home Monday was not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be freed because Nigeria already presented court to the world. And if you counter court process, it means that you are not you are against democratic that is, you are not civil. You are not civil. You are not fighting under self-determination. So what IPOB did was to follow them in the court, but maintain self-determination. So now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers that are supposed to be taking their position in guiding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the rightful channel, what they do is misusing privilege, taking privilege as right, because it is privilege to be a lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or to visit him and communicate with him because he leads IPOB. Not a right. But people misplaces privilege as right. That for visiting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you have the right and power to come up and start accusing the leadership members of IPOB, because it is not a direct accuse to government official. They cannot take leadership of IPOB. When you make such accusation, it is directed to members of the leadership who have said that our leader is not healthy. He is vomiting blood. And we are discovering that we have found out that he might be poisoned. The same leadership of IPOB, and this thing came from Martina Sanwo-Olu then. What did we get? That the siblings to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu countered us and said that nothing is happening to their brother. That nobody should set confusion, nobody should instigate trouble in Biafra land and say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is poisoned. That's what Kanunta said. If the leadership of IPOB can come up with such protest, how can they be dreaming for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to die? Now, after some time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started protesting that he feels that he is poisoned. An earlier stand of IPOB leadership that the siblings countered. Now, the sit at home of Monday that IPOB leadership presented so that the siblings and lawyers can see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not for IPOB leadership to visit him. The Monday sit at home was for them to visit our leader and bring message for us. Our duty is to present the might of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through IPOB. Their duty is to be passing through the channel we have created for them, because it is our we are the strength of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we clear road for them. So we said, if you do not allow them to see our leader, we can go for Monday sit at home. Now, after we might have campaigned for the Monday sit at home, they are now allowed, we have not started, it have not reached on Monday. They now allow the lawyer and the siblings to visit our leader. That was when they presented our leader what IPOB have come up with. Monday sit at home. Maybe they told him it is to free him. They did not tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that this visit we visited you now is because IPOB said they will call for Monday sit at home. No, because you have been there first, second, third. They did not allow you. Immediately we called for Monday sit at home, you was allowed. Instead of them to present the positivity of the order of Monday sit at home, which allowed them to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they started presenting negativity, telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that US called for sit at home for your freedom, instead of telling him that the sit at home was for us to have access as we have gotten it now. Which is to say, the sit at home have not come, but we have achieved the aim. Which was the reason why the sit at home was announced, that it will continue until further notice, not till eternity, not till he is freed. Because there are things we may see, we cut off the seat at home. That is to say, till further notice. Right? But when people took it, they say it's for Freemasons. I say it's a lie. It doesn't work that way, because even before Boris Johnson, they said Buhari go and say that he is going to stand trial. You cannot bring an ideology that you will do this thing so that he will be free. No. You can only wait for court order. Immediately court order was disobeyed, that is when you can take another position. But they truncated the court order, which we are coming to that place later. But what am I presenting? The position of IPOB leadership. One, the only advantage, the only chance Nigeria was creating for themselves is to turn our people against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, turn the Biafrans against IPOB, turn the Biafrans against ESN. And if these things are against us, our people will reject Biafra. And immediately it is done, they will reject IPOB and ESN, and that is rejecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He cannot walk alone. But IPOB leadership fought and make sure that our people understand that the government of Nigeria is the people doing these things. So if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, yes, go ahead, Mazi.
We have seen from the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned from Kenya, we have seen interferences from different angles, including his siblings, trying to give order. At some point, Kanonta cancelled sit at home that was scheduled, because I remember in that broadcast when they refused the lawyers to have access to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi China Saworu made a worldwide broadcast where he said that as long as the Nigerian government have refused to allow the lawyers to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that it means that they must have tampered with his life, and that IPOB do not have option that to continue to establish a seat at home, to be able to force the Nigerian government to show us the proof of life, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. These are words of Mazi China Saworu, that until we see a proof of life that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is healthy, that the seat at home will continue. Now, I want our technical director, because we have a lot of, I want to see how we can take it bit by bit, so that people will be able to understand the points we are trying to make. We want to look at how we can, comprehensively deal with all these issues today, because yesterday what prompted this conversation in part is the video of barrister Maxwell Okpara, who said that some people in the leadership want to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dead in Sokoto prison, so that they can take over leadership. And I want us to upload that video. I don't know if the technical director is available, so that we can hear it for ourselves. Because I remember that what made the leadership of IPOB to declare sit at home in the first place was because the lawyers were denied access to him, and they wanted to be sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is alive. That was the exact word that Mazi China Saworu. We want a proof of life. We want to see that our leader is alive. So I don't know how suddenly the same leadership who wanted a proof of life of their leader is now suddenly turning around to see their leader dead in custody, so they can take over the leadership. As we wait for that Barrister Okpara's video to come forward, we've also seen the tweet that Aloy Ejimakor made earlier, the controversial tweet, as regards to Mandela's leadership from prison, which I'm also going. We have already seen that on the screen, but we are going to analyze it because sometimes I don't know if they really understand the functionality, the division of labor, the position of the leadership of IPOB, and the kind of permutations they are trying to put forward. Yesterday, I debunked to some extent, I fact checked about Mandela's role, Nelson Mandela's role during the his time in the prison, and because they are trying to compare it that Mandela led the apartheid struggle for the prison, and was it's a bit
Okay.
technical. It's a bit technical, but listen,
Okay.
I want us to first of all take Maxwell Okpara's video. I don't know. I believe our technical director is trying to put it forward. Let's give him a little time. Let's see if he can play it. Then we can go back to the post of to the post of Aloy Jimako, because it is quite technical for our people to really understand when you talk about leadership and daily management of struggle. Because when you talk about when they talk about leadership, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu leadership, they try to create this impression that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been removed or is no longer recognized as the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. They have failed to separate the leadership position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the management position, the daily management position of the Directorate of State. So sometimes I used to tell our people that we need education so that our people will be able to understand, so they do not succeed in putting this conflict in their hearts. Let's listen to Barrister Maxwell Okpara from
Sonnets
Sokoto.
of Freedom. I just came out from Sokoto Correctional Center. Pierre Masina Mekalu is serving his prison staff. So I think I call Tarania roundabout near the Correctional Center in Sokoto here. I just came to inform him that this is his record of appeal. His record of appeal, we have transmitted it from Federal High Court to Court of Appeal. His appeal has been entered. I just came to share the good news with him. I came to celebrate Easter with him here and to also encourage him. So when I arrived, I went to see him. So we have a very fruitful discussion. So, and his spirit is high. For those of you who think that Mazi and they have bribed Mazi has agreed to beat the struggle. You don't know whom you are talking about. You need to come and see him. He is committed to the struggle. That's one of the things. I don't know the kind of spirit he is. We are talking about they are going to give him pardon. You give pardon to a criminal, not a freedom fighter. I am saying so. For those of you who feel that he's going to die here so that he will take over the direction of the struggle, you are just dreaming. I'm telling you, when you see our brief of argument and everything, you will give judgment by yourself. So everybody should remain calm. Those of you who are listening to gossip, why should you be listening to gossip? Why should you be listening to social media? We are the people, the federal government, keep on to destroy the struggle. Why should you be listening to them? So just relax. Our appeal has been entered. This is a record of appeal. I've given him his own copy. So I will be with him here from now till Easter to celebrate Easter with him. And also, I also want to use this opportunity to thank the sister, those who are in our Sokoto here taking care of him. I want to also thank you people. You guys are doing well. All the lovers of freedom. What Mazi needs from me is prayers. Are you saying? Nobody can bribe him. Nobody can force him to do funny things. He's committed to the struggle. He has said it and he continues to say it. He never committed any crime. Of course, people will know that he never committed any crime. So we are committed to what we are doing. And I believe at the end of the day, at the end of the channel, the tunnel we will see light. Thanks and God bless you.
Now, you see, the fearless evangelists are a case they couldn't make in court about proving that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never committed any crime. He's coming to the street of Sokoto to prove. When they were asked to put defense, in fact, it was even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that had to defend himself. But here we are now listening to a lawyer who couldn't defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court, coming to defend him on the street. Now, let us look at the most important statement where he said that there are people who want to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dead so that they can take leadership position. Mazi, I want to ask you, are these the type of information Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being fed in detention, in prison? Are these the kind of information that he's being fed by his lawyers, that his position is being threatened as a leader of IPOB?
Mazi, let me touch something now before I go to that your question. You see how the man changed the very national language that even the the madman in the street of Biafra land can be using. Can be we can even print clothes with obey court order and give it to mad people to be wearing. We can do it. It is presentable. This man changes to serving his life jail time, from obeying court order to serve to Mazinam the car serving his jail term. You open your mouth, you are telling us that obey court order have changed. You are not ashamed that the obey court order have been changed to serving his jail term. We are now going for appeal. I don't know what it is giving to a convict if it is not pardon. If somebody can change obey court order to life sentence, the language that everybody can use, a newborn baby, obey court order. If you like, write it on your shoe. Abba will pursue the shoe, obey court order. The same thing with Aburi Accord Agreement. On Aburi we stand. IPOB achieved this thing. These people change it to serving lifetime, jail term, in detention, no longer illegal detention. When the appeal court order, on the appeal court order that IPOB keeps stands today, he is standing in illegal detention. But to the lawyers who forwarded for further trial and convicted him, he's not standing in legal detention. They cannot say so. They can never. That's why you saw Sowore, he was saying, I said this judgment cannot stand. It have already stood. When you change obey court order to this judgment will not stand, you are joking. Now let us go to the very direct accusation to the leadership. Now, if somebody can say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spirit is standing firm, this is what we always know him for, right? Now, when you present it, you jump to, from the appeal court report you came, you started prosecuting IPOB leadership members. This is a lawyer that if you ask him in court, Oga, please, can you provide the names of these people and the evidences of this thing you are saying? This is a lawyer. Can you provide evidences of what you said and defend it in court? You cannot. Just because you know that you will use it to set confusion. And you tell me that this is your profession. This is what you were called for. This is a message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When people come and give their own utterances, they will tell us it is the message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's just say that this is what they have been feeding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with. That because that's what they presented to Pontius Pilate. That people following Jesus is increasing. So they tell them that Maji can obey him is trying to take over. But there is something I will say on that area when the tweet of Ejimako is presented. That is when I will analyze and connect and tell them, refer them to when we talk about this that they are presenting today. But for now, let me stop at this point to say that the lawyers intentionally working in the interest of government, knowingly or unknowingly, because to tell us that there are people in IPOB leadership instead of people in Nigeria or people in the politics. You are not telling us that people want to him to die to take over leadership. It means you are talking about the leadership because you are not talking about the government officials. If you talk about government officials, you will not talk about taking over the leadership. You will talk about stopping Biafra's struggle. If you want to talk about general enemy, you will say that they want him to die so that Biafra's struggle will stop. That is when you are on a center, or you say that they don't want him to be freed so that they are fighting to stop Biafra's struggle. This is something a lawyer can present. It is something that if you know it is connected to you, then you will now calculate and know who you are. But coming up to say that they want to take over leadership, it means you are pointing finger at the leadership. That if you are sued now, you can defend it. And that is the kind of people who is defending Mazenam Deka, who was not defending now, who was defending him to be sentenced. So that's what I have to say now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. I really want to, bring this question forward and said to ask, does the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually do they really want to take the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? It's a very, very
Okay,
big
okay. Let
question.
me come in.
It's a very, very big question
That's why,
because yes,
let me come in. That was why IPOB begin to wonder when our press release changed. The press release started coming, IPOB ably led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No, that is not the IPOB press release. That was the one they say we should share. The IPOB press release, both in the present and in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is IPOB press release of IPOB leadership under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB leadership under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same thing to memo. When you see this thing, there is no separation. The same thing with the memo. Both appointment, both to removal. That is to say, the leadership is under the command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, what is taking over there? When Omada asked Mazi Doziem to start acting in the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he said no. I have my own position and I have my boundaries of operation. When I walk to my limit, I stop. That is to say, they have separate offices, that is, from unit, zonal, local government, all of them, up to the head of the State of State, to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has the office of the leader of IPOB. That this very head of the State of State does not operate in that office. When he go to represent IPOB in the absence of our leader, he cannot say I'm an IPOB leader. He cannot. And he cannot do it tomorrow. Because he's not IPOB leader. There is IPOB leader. So, if Mazi Doziem can reject, Machina Sanwo reject the other one, they said, start acting in the position of the using ESN to fight for our leader release. Boycott DOS. And boycotting DOS is boycotting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These two people refused. Now, how can such people come now to take over? People who have maintained that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of IPOB. And because he is passing through people to them, they would like to verify messages from him. And if there is negative order to their positive action in office, they will know that there is no proper report to our leader. Like somebody is suspended or expelled for collecting IPOB money and sending it to criminals, right? Or somebody joined criminals that Mazdam can have come and say that the people killing our people doing these things is not connected to him. And the IPOB leadership remove people who use IPOB position to support the criminals. Now, the next message you get from from the people visiting Mazdam Khan is that Mazdam Khan said, the leader of IPOB, you should return such person. Like somebody who is not obeying command in a situation like this in IPOB. The leadership say, okay, maybe you obey Mazdam Khan, the leader of IPOB direct. No problem. You will wait aside until he comes out so that you can be obeying him direct. But for now that we are in position to give account, you will cause trouble for us in our service. Please stay aside. The next message you will hear is that Mazdam can say you should reinstate that person. Now the question now is, did the Mazdam Khan one, if he gave such order, is it for success or for problem? Because nobody was hated. There is a problem. There is a purpose why the person was removed, not killed, not jailed, but because when they go there, they will tell Mazdam Khan that he is removing the people he appointed. That's why when they brought a memo, they said, Onyendu said that all the national coordinator that I have appointed, that was appointed by Mazdam Khan himself, should be reinstated. This statement means that nobody is presiding over IPOB in the absence of Mazdam Khan, because if somebody can go to robbery, go to steal with the name of IPOB, and the leadership of IPOB take position of saving the struggle and saving the image of Mazdam Khan because somebody went to robbery with the name of our leader. Now, if such thing happen, the message you get from our leader is, from people that say it's from our leader, is that you should return that person. Will you take it? Will you take that message that it is from our leader? Because you yourself knows that when Mazdam Khan was here, nobody can commit such thing and be returned back. So how come he had such thing and say you should return that person? That is to say, in a situation you are in prison, messages should be filtered. Now, the messages from IPOB to our leader should also be filtered by our leader. But he cannot be in such position all time because you are in detention so that you will not be complete. That is why we say that we will no longer be following another channel to obey our leader, because the messages that will come from those channels may be messages that are unfiltered. Because obeying Mazdam Khan is the problem DOS is having today. But recently, people can hear from Kanunta that it wasn't DOS, that he dragged with DOS and DOS refused to suspend the Monday sit at home. That it was him who called off the sit at home with the excuse of NECO. Nothing related to Free Nnamdi Kanu, nothing related to Biafra. He said that our children are going for NECO exam on the 29th. So there will be no Monday sit at home. Right? So now, if somebody can come up after 5 years and say that he was the one that suspended sit at home, that the leadership have been accused of collecting bribe to suspend, so it started telling you that he was angry with the HOD for he refused to suspend Monday sit at home and he went ahead to suspend it. Do you tell me that, are you telling me that the leadership do not deserve apology from people who accuse them? Having heard from the person who pushed, which the leadership said that this thing was done by the siblings, that they did not call for sit at home to harm people, but they suspended it and started moving it to Simon and started supporting him, that Ejimako started taking the report to Mazdam Khan. So there is nothing to present as for IPOB activities, which we know that the leadership of IPOB have a position to take. and the case of Mazi Kanu would have ended for long, that Nigeria would have defeated him for long. But they refused to take that position. What do they jail Mazi Kanu with? They did not jail Mazi Kanu with the activities of IPOB. What did they use? They use government projected activities. I can go back to that. 2015 to 2017. The only charge that came from the charges that he was granted bail on is the charge related to transmitter, which was the count 15 of the 15 amended count charges. That 7 was trashed in the court of Bintanyako, 8 was trashed in the court of appeal. Now, this is the only charge that came from the initial warrant. The current charges that they used to jail Mazi Kanu, which I asked the lawyers to separate, let it be a new warrant, so that Nigeria will provide those that went to Kenya, the IPOs that went to Kenya and kidnapped Mazi Kanu. But they allowed it. They used the warrant of 2015 to jail Mazi Kanu with allegation of 2020. NSAS of October 2020 started in Oyeli, ended up in Lagos. Killing of Ahmed Gulak 2021 happened in Owerri. Jailbreak in Owerri 2021. Attack on INF facility in Owerri 2021. Vanguard publication of Onyami statement 2022. Attack on police station in Ebonyi 2020. These are charges. Imagine Mazi Kanu that his case started 2015, was granted by 2017. They provided 4 charges under Uzodinma that was not governor 2015, 2016, 2017, that became governor 2020. They used happenings under his regime to jail a warrant of 2015, and the lawyers have them out to talk in public today. Separate this case. Let Nigeria come with a new warrant of 2021. You didn't. You allowed the warrant of 2015 that was granted bail, that no particular charges from that warrant apart from transmitter that is seen in the present accusation. How do they jail him? With a warrant that had been discharged by Ademola, discharged by John Soho, rejected by Ahmed Mohammed, granted bail by Bintanyako, and the bail was truncated by Nigerian state. This case ended in 2017. Granting bail. Every other accusation should come with a new warrant. But they refused, because I'm not a lawyer. Now, I ask, how is it that the leadership who have been protecting and saying that Mazi Kanu, giving press release, both memo, that leadership under the leadership of Mazi Kanu, how is it that they're in position to take position? Is because that they have rejected messages that are contrary to IPOB operational modus operandi and the modus operandi, that an expelled somebody or somebody caught in an act like Madubugu Benjamin, who have committed mutiny and treason, that is treason, using the name of the body, claiming to be a member of a body, applying for a contract in the hand of the government that we have issue with, forgotten that the government will relate it to the IPOB, because Nigeria call us non-state actors, but they themselves relate us, knowing that we are state actors, despite their pretense. Somebody went with that, and the leadership discovered this, and this is what is in their hand, to discover loopholes, to discover where IPOB will have issue, where Nigeria can nail our leader. They can present that even they have given IPOB a contract. So why are you telling us that you want Nigeria to be separated? They gave you a contract of 40 million. Is this not a member of leadership? They can do so because the documents was already sent to the federal government that IPOB have applied for a contract. It didn't end there in the state. As immediately Madubugu applied, it was sent to the federal government, and federal government documented it, share it to the politicians in the southeast, that even IPOB, they're applying for contract through us.
If even such document can also be sent to diplomatic bodies as well, other countries, as part of, because Nigeria is also desperate to prove that they could also even say that it's part of amnesty program that they are organizing. Mazi, go ahead.
So if leadership of IPOB can take such stand, yes. If IPOB leadership can take such stand and say, no, we are whiter than white. We don't want anything that will make Nigeria to nail our leader. The mad book is standing trial. Hence his standing trial. He is the watch of the government. One, if IPOB principal officers in Biafra land cannot be made known, how can a leadership member be in Biafra land and be made known? Because it come through third person. The message did not come to from Maznam Khan direct. It came through third people. The third people have gotten the knowledge that this man had been appointed to in DOS. Those third parties are the lawyers and some other people. So it is no longer a secret that if IPOB make him member of leadership, you will not say it was in secret, that you will not publish a memo, because third party have had it. That's why you are in detention. Your secret must be shared. That's why I've been there now. Your secret must be shared. It doesn't matter who you are. Your secret must be shared. That's why you're in detention. You don't go direct. Messages will be coming. You will never try to lose those that are visiting you. That is in detention. You can never try to lose those visiting you. Because they are the people that give you bad message, good message. All you know that after all, you pick one that you use from them. And the most important is you will send message through them. Sending message through them. So many people in detention that are mad is that they have messages, but who can they pass it through? That is why Mazdam Khan cannot joke with those visiting him. But they are misusing privilege. Take it as right. Now, if IPOB can take that stand and say and suspended Madubugu, and okay, let me finish that Madubugu. If IPOB can take that stand, if IPOB can take that stand and said, we want Mazdam Khan to remain as solely as we know him, we cannot add this man back. We cannot be the people that will be in leadership and have such record that they will raise tomorrow and use to nail our leader. Please tell our leader that we will not bring Madbook into the leadership. It's very simple stand. The only thing is that the people that want to be in the leadership are the people working for them to be in leadership. If it is an appointment from our leader and the leadership said no, with this reason will not allow you, you will not be worried. You wait for our leader. But for Madbook to be fighting to be there, that means he discussed it with an agenda. It is not an appointment. It is a demand. It is an interest. Madbook, because if I have been called to be in a position when something happened here, I said, no, I will not be it. You know I cannot do it. You know my picture is everywhere. Go and ask Brian Chimeze. I said, my video is here now. People like us cannot be appointed. You can't appoint me. No, now I cannot move freely like others. So there must be delay. Places you can go under 1 hour. I can use throughout today. After monitoring, I cannot move. So how can you appoint me? I resign offices because of my work. Resign senatorial, resign so many offices. So I cannot be appointed. Because I know the implication here. They must look for you on that position because they believe you have secrets. So that is it now. If Madbook can be hunting for that position, now it wasn't a desire from our leader. It was a bill they passed our leader. So they celebrated the cutting off of DOS from communicating Maznam Kanu. And the interest is to plot their own. They want to cut you off, but they want to plot their own. Not Maznam Khan that nominated Madbook. Because Tarinemi was there doing it. So many of them was there doing it. For Canon Tanko. That's all. So Madbook is also an interest of Kanonta. It wasn't a desire from Maznam Khan originally. No. Who do you want to put there? Madbook. Simple. And the Madbook already have a case. And they keep coming up. I don't to say you should put him. Why should you put somebody who have impersonated the institution you want to put him into when he have not been member of that institution? Is that taking over from Mazen Khan? That is not taking over now. That is saving Mazen Khan. And that is showing to our people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. Because the same people cannot give. It is the people that send the IPOB.
Yes, I think that our brother, fearless evangelist Mado Abuchi, is having technical issues. Okay, he's back now. He's back now. Let's. Yeah, because you went out. You went out. There is a question I wanted to ask you, Mado Abuchi. I don't know if our technical director will be available to put you back on the screen. But the question I wanted to ask you is, I think he's out again. Let's see if he can come back. Because very soon I'll be opening the line. Before we give the interpretation of the position of Mandela as a leader of the South African movement, we're going to come to that. We're going to analyze the post of Aloy Jimako as regards to Mandela's leadership role during the apartheid while he was in prison. Now, Mazi Mado Abuchi, I want to put this question across to you
Yes,
because
we need to go there now. We
yeah,
need to.
because you're talking about people
Okay.
visiting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison. He's out again. Let's see if he can come back. Let's see if he can come back. So I like to put this question across so he can let's evaluate the visiting of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison. Mazi, are you back? Yes. Okay, you're back now to the screen. Can you hear me?
Why?
I can hear you. I can hear you. You're back to the screen.
Yes,
Can
I'm
I?
here. Are you hearing me?
Yes. Can I put this question across? Oh my God, he continues to go out. I don't know why he's having these technical issues now. But when he comes back, we are going to. I'm going to ask this question, but on the interim, I want our technical director to bring forward the post of Aloy Jimako, the post that he made yesterday, as regards to the Mandela position as a leader in prison. Now, Mazi Maduabuchi, do we say that part of the controversy we face and part of the challenges we face is as a result of too many middlemen that operate between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Directorate of State? Is it as a result of that, when you have too many middlemen operating in between these two organs? Okay, let's see. He's beginning to keep on, continues to come and go, continues to come and go. I don't know if my technical director is there to, yes, to bring forward their lawyer Ejimako, because we've done the fast check, and the fast check is also available to be placed on the screen. So we'll be able to analyze it before we open the line. Maazimadu Abuchi, go ahead, please.
NC or what? Do they separate powers? That is connected to him. He cannot be there, somebody that have days of visit, time to allow visit. He will be there leading you. If you have emergency, you will go and file application. Before you visit a detainee, you will write application. And if it is war going on in our land, somebody commanding you, leading is different from commanding. Leading in this aspect as IPOB leader, uncountable. And that is why I remind our people, our two hashtags. 3, free Mazinam Kanu, free Biafra, Biafra referendum. It does the same thing with Mazinam Kanu, unless he is the one that is say, I want to lead IPOB and job DOS. We tell him no, which is our argument against 100 men. They are not in the oath. They are not in the channel. They are not in IPOB. They can be appointed for legal team. But to tell us they will replace DOS, it is not in IPOB. So now, what Elijah Marco, from what he presented on Mandela, is what they have achieved. They want to separate Mazinam Kano's order from IPOB leadership order, which gave the Nigerian government grant to decide on Mazinam Kano, knowing that it is no longer IPOB order. There is a one from him. So if we hold him now, if this lawyer bring a message, because they are middlemen, people will say it did not come from him. It did not come from him. So it will be delayed to take action. So that is a grant given to government to separate power, separate order, indicate the order from Nnamdi Kanu and order from DOS. That is a very serious sabotage of the strength of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which DOS have tried to maintain and have been maintaining, because what they say is IPOB leadership, heavily led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB until they started coming into IPOB press release. And we know that anybody can write that, and we have to abolish that. The same thing is to guide the struggle. The same thing is to guide the Kanu, because as they gave Mazinam Khan the image that the leadership have secured, allow the image of first defense IPOB gave to Mazinam Khan is, IPOB leadership gave is guiding.
So Mazima Dabuchi continue to have these challenges. Now, I want to read out what Aloy Ejimako posted before we open the line. And the number on the screen is going to appear +39 if you are calling out of Italy, 388-177-9665. As we round up this analysis of Aloy Ejimako, and he said, for 27 years, Nelson Mandela effectively and successfully led the liberation of South Africa from inside prison. And his leadership was far more effective from prison than when he was freed, because it was grounded in the righteousness of the cause. Think about this. Now, I remember that when Nelson Mandela was in Robben Island, there was no WhatsApp, there was no telephone, there was no communication as it stands today. And I from some of the documentaries I read, we knew that letters that were written by the leadership of the South African movement to Mandela sometimes took 30 days before getting to Mandela, and Mandela had to reply. Sometimes it also took 30 days for the leadership to receive this letter. And secondly, before Mandela even received the letter that he gets from the leadership of the movement, they come under scrutiny to look at the content of those letters by the prison official, including the one that goes to the leadership of the South African movement. Now, is it possible for somebody to run a movement with this type of correspondence effectively, Mazi Madu Abuchi?
That was the reason he was kept in DSS. When our leader was brought back from Kenya earlier, I told them that things will change. Everything they allowed him to do before, they will not allow him. When they apply for him to be transferred to Kuje, I said, I don't think it will work because there are things they need. They need information. So they will keep him in DSS. They are waiting for the visitors. Then they want to catch his own message, the way he communicates IPOB. They want it. There is no court order they would allow until they get the whole information. If the DSS is still expecting more information from Mazinam Kanu, they will not conclude his judgment. The matter will still be on trial. But federal government have captured all that they need. Every information coming to Mazinam Kanu in Kuje, in Sokoto now has nothing to. Federal government don't need it. They know that they have gotten the ones they need. That's why he's in detention. You are in detention so that you cannot have the power. You are in detention so that people will apply to see you. People cannot go direct to you and just call you. That's so bad, come in. No, they will pass people to pass you. Any letter given to you will be looked into. Those visiting you will be searched. They will search them, touch them all over their body. Women will search women, women wardress.
Even the lawyers, we even
They know
saw
everybody. You have
even
no
we
secret.
even remember when Ejiofor complained about how he was squeezed, searched, and
You have no secret. The letter you gave to him, the legal procedures, everything you want to give to him, they will look into it. If you are giving him or you are giving a message to him that yes, a bomb has been dropped, they need to look into it. After reading the letters, they will not say, okay, give it to him. That thing you are planning with him, the government have it. That letter, that legal proceedings you are bringing to him, the government have taken it. Imagine application for visit. You will write everything. They will go and they will look into it. They say so person want to see you. So people want to see you. Do you understand? By then you have dropped your identity. You have dropped all. They give you tally. When you come out, you keep it back. So how can you be leading from there? The leading is that those you left will never separate you from their operations. Which is to say, when they go to international community or anybody, they said we IPOB, heavily led by Mazinam Kanu, but he's been incarcerated in detention, and now this is the then they will not ask you who is now leading, who is representing him here. You say, okay, we have head of the state of state. He's not a deputy. We don't have deputy. But for now, he's the higher commander after our leader. He represents us. The leadership of IPOB faced this challenge when they were going for the.
Mazi, we have had situations where diplomats ask the leadership of IPOB,
Yes.
since your leader is in prison, who is now your new leader? Because the diplomat know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot function within the walls of DSS custody, detention, and you understand what I'm saying? Now there is a
Yes.
question, there is a clarification I want to make as regards
Yes.
to yes, there is there is a clarification I want to make because we were able to fast check Aloy Ejimako's claim. We were able to fact check Aloy Ejimako's claim.
Okay.
And I would like our technical director to bring that fact check on apart from the Aloy Ejimako's poll, there is a fact check that follows it. And this fact check says, while Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years, between 1962 to 1990, he remained the symbolic leader of the anti-apartheid movement. Though he could not manage its daily operation from his cell. He could not manage the anti-apartheid movement daily operation from his cell. His role while in prison was characterized by, symbol of resistance. His continued imprisonment became a global cause, galvanizing international pressure and sanctions against the South African government. Because what we try, when we talk about leadership, there is this impression in IPOB. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu cannot be replaced from the leadership of IPOB. But what we are talking about is the daily operations of IPOB cannot be managed from prison. That does not take away
No.
the of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu as the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. These are two things. You
And
understand?
that is what the leadership have tried to maintain, that they are leadership ably led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Their leadership. And the next press release we had was IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they want to cut him off because our duty is to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. Not on command. He cannot be commanding because there are messages that can delay and it will take lives. So what we do is, even if it take 1 month to give him report, we'll find a way to give him the report, the one that is supposed to pass through somebody. There are reports that should not pass through somebody. There are reports that can never pass through somebody. And the leadership can never send it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Impossible. So that is why you are in detention. That these people can be able to manage. Because now, some people can take you back to 2015. There was deputy. Deputy automatically represents the head immediately, which was what Iranian Co was dragging, that they are the top head of Directorate of State. But we try to maintain, because there is deputy who can automatically act in the office of the leader even as he's in detention. The deputy that can respond to matters on radio and give you answer, not when there is no deputy like now, that Radio Biafra broadcasters will take your message to the leadership to look into. It is different that you will get a direct response from deputy leader than the leadership will reply you. So this is when you will know that the matter have entered another stage where people that heads departments and the heads continents will now put head together and look into a matter and decide on it. That is the stage that people have forgotten. That the deputy leader is not there. Now, what IPOB do is that when you go there, you say this we IPOB, ably led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen, was kidnapped. His British Britain deny him his consular assistant even to today. And the Nigerian court have discharged and acquitted him. The Nigerian state refused court order. At the end, they moved him from higher court down to the low and convicted him, sentenced him to death. So there is no way you can say, they will now ask you, okay, who will now, if we want to talk to a leader, because they cannot travel to detention. A diplomat or a organized government cannot say, okay, your IPOB you have had will now go to detention and discuss with your leader. No, they will say, okay, who do you have now? Who are you showing me to talk with? They say Mazi Kedoziem, and that is the taking over. Why is he there? He's there representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, presenting IPOB to the world, IPOB activities, demanding for the freedom of the people of the East. So how is that taking over?
Mazi, there is a question I want to ask you, because
Okay.
we already have somebody that is requesting to be contacted to make his contribution.
Okay,
If
okay.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't want a leadership structure that could represent him in his absence, why did he create DOS to be there in his absence?
Mazi, not just creating DOS. Let us go to the oath of IPOB. The oath of IPOB say that I, the starting point, I, Mazi Madam Nwachukwu, hereby solemnly and voluntarily swear to be absolutely loyal to the leadership of indigenous people of Biafra and the director of Radio Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And in the ending, he said that if I go against any of these things, may Chukwu Abiyama strike me dead and completely wipe out my family and my generation entirely. What are those things? If I did not obey the leadership and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and how do we obey the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu direct? We can't. We obey him through unit orders, and this unit get their orders from IPOB. So it is the duty of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to communicate to the leadership, or communicate us through the leadership, and for us to communicate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through the leadership. That is how IPOB operates. This one, they want to say that we obey Mazi Nnamdi Kanu direct and jump the leadership. It doesn't happen. So leadership of IPOB is not emergency. Now, in the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every appointment and the removal, no memo have ever come from the office of the leader of IPOB. The whole memo come from the Directorate of State, which IPOB leader is there. Because if you come to state coordinators meeting, state executive, these are coordinators that make up the executive. They are involved in state executive. When they go to their zone, they start leading their zone. The state coordinator can be a member of a zonal coordinator. When he comes there, the zonal coordinator is coordinating him. National coordinator have a zone. When he go to his zone, a lower officer is coordinating him. He's a member of that zone. The same thing, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the head. When he come to leadership, the head of leadership is directed is Mazi Edoziem. That does not intimidate him from leading us. So that is how we move. And we now obey Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through leadership because it is a message that comes from them, unless it's on radio. So there is no separation there. It is left for both of them to find a way to connect themselves in communication.
Even before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu makes certain pronunciations on radios, he must have done consultation back there as well before coming to formulate those.
I will give you an example. The 30th of May 2021, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, came to Radio Biafra and announced it that we will start from 29 buying something. Immediately it is 6 o'clock 29th, which is Saturday. Then the following day, you sit at home. After this announcement, they went back and discussed. He now came back on Radio Biafra. That is that Monday sit at home that they used to play at Eberima to promote Eberima Monday sit at home. IPOB, after discussion, our leader came back on radio and said no. The sit at home on Sunday will no longer hold. Our people will go to their worship centers and pray for our fallen heroes, while we will sit at home on Monday 31st. Imagine, after discussion with leadership, an annual event was shifted because it's supposed to be on Sunday. It was shifted to 31st. And before then, I must not can say that DSS will say that we are fighting Christian. We are fighting against Christianity. But because our people are too religious, they'll believe them. So this is a decision on radio that he later came back and corrected. Now, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can sack you, give order, pronounce your removal on Radio Biafra, and he does not issue memo, the memo will come from the Directorate of State, and the head of the Directorate of State will sign the memo. It means that they are the people deciding. They are the people that removed you. You cannot sue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to court. Come Biafra, come. You cannot report Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Biafra government. Come Biafra, come, as the person that removed you or suspended you. It is IPOB, which is not one man. So there is no removal or suspension. You can accuse only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No, he was the leader and he will defend himself in court. And that is what IPOB is for. The people that document your removal and the reason for your removal, for your children and your children's children to revisit it and challenge it in court, is the IPOB, not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not his family. So we document the reason for your removal because your children supposed to sue it, challenge it in court. I want to clear the image of my father. I want to clear the image of my mother. How do you suspended him? Can we see the fact? How? How did you expel my father during the agitation? What did he committed? And these documents will come from IPOB, not from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So if
Let
he
us
can
take
decide,
this.
and
You have already finished the work. You need doesn't get too far. Let us take the first caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning. Imechila akwụkwọ. Yes, go ahead, please. Oh, hey, Biafra, go ahead. Your name and where you are calling from, please.
Mazi Nkemo, I hail you all, and I heard our comrade, Madabuchi Nwachukwu, is doing a great job, and you also are doing a great job. Mazi Madabuchi is back home in the ground, in the field. He's doing a very, very great job. I appreciate him, and I'm giving him a recommendation to stand firm and continue. My name is Mazi Echesona Omodo. I'm calling from my location. Biafrans, what is my contribution in this our broadcast and what is happening in our whole struggle? We have to understand that me personally, I believe that genuinely IPOB members, they stand firm in all this what they call buhaha. I call it buhaha saga. From the belief, wherever belief faced. And you see, if I blame Nnamdi Kanu, our blame goes many. But
no, don't blame him. Don't blame him. Just give your contribution. Go ahead.
Our leader. Now, but there is a body in IPOB, being DOS, and in that DOS there is a head who controls the general body, being Chika Edosiem. One IPOB movement is not a one man, it's not an individual movement. Okay. Mazim now, IPOB is not a one-man squad. It's not a one-man squad. It's a collective effort. Collective effort. You advise me, advise you, and the other person, we bring it together, then our leader will stand and say, yes, this is what we agree for. But my pain is this. These people that are joining hand to the enemy to fight the foundation of this struggle, I don't know what I will call them. But I put them that is where belief face, the people that knows the truth and cover the truth and follow evil. Which is, I know that the oath, if they are really IPOB oath members, I believe that the oath that they took will work against them. I believe strongly that the oath they took will surely work against them. Because the oath said, don't be insubordinated to the leadership of this struggle. Don't be so insubordinated only for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but for the struggle. But now they deviate the burden and stand in one person, which is not the right. Now, another thing again, these lawyers that are bringing in social media doing content creating in the movement that our souls have gone. I don't believe that they know what they are doing. And if they have any message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why can't they, if they don't want to call the OS, why can't they contact the wife of this woman? Because he has a family. He has a family. He has a son. He has a wife. But among all these things, visiting, there's nothing that the woman, being the wife of the leader of the struggle, know anything about. And the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if he say that he doesn't know, if he say he doesn't know all these things, why the wife? He's not asking about the wife. He is not asking about
Don't
the
worry,
wife.
don't go that side, not your area, please. We are on national television. Just go direct.
I think,
Don't go there.
yes,
It is therefore it is for them. Let us continue on communication between Mazi Kanu and IPOB leadership. It is not our job because when he was here, nobody knows how they communicate, and when they did not, they have issue. So they have been having it. They used to have this communication. They have quarrel. They connect back. So that is left for them. For somebody to be looking into whether they obey him or they did not obey him is not our job. Our job is a message from IPOB leadership. So it is left for two of them to connect themselves and relate us purely. As for us, we obey good or bad order from IPOB leadership. Let Muslim Kanu leadership create their way and connect each other.
Okay, of course, yes. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In everything I say, in everything I do, the neglect from the lawyers to the burden of the struggle is appalling. It's very, very appalling. You know, and their every day of their men.
Paula, thank you very much. Thank you for that contribution. We really appreciate you. We understand the feelings. We understand the feelings. Yes. So Mazi, I think that our people are
Yes, there is something I want to say. There's something I want to tell people. I want to remind Mazi, Mazi, this thing is my field in IPOB.
Hold on.
This is what I've been teaching. This is what I've been teaching for years in IPOB. Maintain the structure. That is why when we obey local government coordinator, it is not our business. That's what Mazi Kanu told us direct. He told us in Umuahia. He also told some group in our Kuje prison. When they have issue, when they went there, Mazi Kanu told them, Mazi Chinasa Nwachukwu sigi tiakanoku, tiakanoku. If he asks you to put your hand in fire, put it. If fire hurts you, tie a bandage on your hand. Come and show me. I will honor you for obeying me. I will punish Chinoso for giving you order that did not come from us. The same in Afaruku. As a fine boy, he was there. He was there in the palace. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, who is in detention today, he said, Ikechukwu Sigi Tiakanoku, state coordinator. Ugwuanha, that was national coordinator before taking him.
That was
now,
later
yes. So now,
rest in peace.
He said, so Mazi can say, if he said Tiakanoku, pick my point. So he said, I will honor you for obeying me. I will honor you for obeying me. And I will punish Ikechukwu for giving you command that did not come from us. He did not say come from me, come from us. Because it passes through channel. That is why IPOB always have evidences, witnesses. Because you pass through channel to communicate them. They will try to make sure you pass through somebody to them, so that that person will be evidence of what happened. So then if such command comes, it means that if you obey your unit coordinator, if he give you road command, it is not your duty. It is the duty of the leadership to do their job. That is it. The same way with people that is being removed. It is leadership that go investigation. After everything, they report to our leader. This is what is happening. No? He will say, they will say, this is what is happening. Look at it, look at it, look at it. It's okay. Let me hear. I want to know. I want to speak to them. I want to talk about the matter. He will speak. They will say, Oyendu, yes, we have said this thing, but look at how it was. Look at the result we have. Now, this is what this thing resulted. It's okay. If that is the case, go ahead, do it. That's how they have been running. Not a one-man show. The same thing in state. State automatically, senatorial coordinator is executive. They discuss our state affairs. The zonal coordinators have no business with the state coordinator, how they communicate with the senatorial coordinator. The same thing with IPOB members, how Mazi can communicate with DOS. It is both of them that are disappointing us for this communication, not me. who is obeying a channel of command and passing my message through channel of command. So our duty is to obey command. We don't know who passes it. It is from IPOB. That's the
Mazi,
structure.
let us take another caller, please. Hello,
Go
caller.
ahead.
Welcome to the program.
Oh, welcome.
Can you speak louder because your voice is not coming out?
Hello, welcome, Mark. Thank you very much. Are you hearing me?
We can hear you, but I just hope that our audience are also hearing because your voice is a bit low. But go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. I believe I'm coming out very clear.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, fellow dear friends all over the world. Thank you, Mark, Patrick, and also thank you, Mark, Mother Gucci, the fearless evangelist. Dear friends are very proud of you. And I must say that after this battle facing us now, we are going to restore Biafra by the grace of Chukwuka. This issue of Maxwell visiting Onyendu coming out to come and present some part of gossip that they have been lying to our leader. I believe I'm coming out clear.
Go ahead. Continue. You have just 2 minutes so that because we are having so many calls coming in too, so that we'll be able to take so many other calls, please.
Okay. So Maxwell just exposed himself that they have been lying to our leader, trying to blackmail the leadership. From what he said, he exposed himself and what they have been doing, all that have been surrounding our leader, going to blackmail for their own selfish interest. So, and I'm happy that we have men that we are now educating our people. These are some of the things that IPOB leaders were not allowed to do at the earlier stage of Ekberima, and he came and caused a lot of damages. But now I am happy that we are ready to take the bull by the horn at this earlier stage, so that some of our people that are being misled will come back to their senses. Those that are being expelled from the IPOB and they went and started ganging up against the leadership, I believe they are also learning, they are also, maybe they will repent and come back to their senses. So what I'm trying to say is that those that are working and as a leader team to Mazin and Dekano, they have to focus on their legal job and leave anything that has to do with IPOB alone. They don't have any right to interfere in what is going on in IPOB. So let me just stop there so that other people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. Thank you for that contribution. Yeah, so we are having so many calls coming in, thousands of calls. I can tell you, we have thousands of calls coming in. Let's see if you okay. Let's take this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program. Good morning. Your name and where you are calling from, please. Please turn down the volume of your listening device. Caller, please. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, can you please speak louder? Turn down the volume of your listening device. Go ahead. Your name and where you are calling from, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
You have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Just with one. Both of you is actually the two people I want to speak to, because I've been hearing quite a lot from our media, especially Racho media, on this issue of Mazin and Dekano and the supposed insubordination is trying to do from the inside. So I wrote you, Patrick, I wrote you, but I don't know whether you saw my listen on your timeline.
Okay, is it on Facebook?
Facebook, yes.
Okay, I will check it out later.
I wrote you. So okay. Now the reason why I actually called is because
if we as an organization sees the siblings of Martin Nandekano as enemies of this organization or enemies of this struggle, and we are expecting Nandekano to stay inside the prison to caution them, then my question will be, first, if we don't want him to lead from the prison, then why do we need to ask him to go to fight from the prison? Second, if your siblings are leaving a team of armed robbers to rob you in your house and you need and you saw them, is it you will you be able to confront them why the robbery is going on immediately? Thirdly, you know, um, I have quite a lot to say, but just let me just go on the two. Some of the issue I see here is it seems to me that we are missing the signs Mazen Namdekan is sending out from the prison. For instance, when he was interviewed by the DSS, he said the people who are in charge that he leads the organization, but those who are in charge of day-to-day running of the affair is the DOS. That means that he surrendered his power to the DOS. Now, meaning that the federal government is trying every hard to try to destroy the structure. And actually, in one of the interviews I had one prominent Yoruba man met, he said the reason why Nandekan is not released is because he has structure. And this is the structure they are trying to destroy. So if we in the destiny, we are dealing with Yoruba propaganda, you know, I'm sure I wrote a moral means question for you. So I will write another one after speaking to you today, you know. So that's the reason why I called. Would it not be better, if we close ranks while he is there suffering, or whether he's enjoying or suffering, we close ranks, just like Benema was dealt with. The siblings can also be dealt with outside here. The rule Absalom, we do have not forgotten that Absalom, challenged his father. His father could have gone to the war to fight Absalom, but he didn't. He left it to his generals, who actually did the work they were supposed to do because they understood what the time and season is. So we need to
Thank
go
you.
back to our
Thank
Bible
you,
and read.
caller. Thank you,
At,
caller.
Please.
at least I
Thank you.
have.
Thank you, caller. Mazima Dabuchi, do you want to respond to him
Yes,
briefly?
a
So
little.
that we
A
can take
little.
other calls, please.
Okay, a
So,
little.
caller, thank you for your contribution.
That's
We
a
already
very
have
good.
we already have a call. Caller, hold on. Let us respond. Turn down the volume of your listening device, please. Turn down the volume of your listening device. Mazima
That's
Dabuchi, go ahead.
Thank you. That's a very good contribution. So the issue there now on the area of the siblings to Mazen Namde Kano. You see, in
Turn down
IPO,
the volume of your listening device, caller, please, or I will cut you off. Please. I'm begging you.
okay.
Go
So
ahead. Go
on
ahead.
on the on the area of he's talking about if you are being robbed and you see your sibling
Caller,
is
hold on.
involved.
Stay on the line. Stay on the line.
So that is not his reference is okay. Anyway, I will respond to him on that very area of reference. In our struggle, that is not that kind of thing you are talking, because IPOB leadership was still waiting, gave order for sit at home. And we heard from the siblings and lawyer that Mazdamkan suspended it. After some years, the siblings said they're the one that announced it. But the lawyers brought messages that Onyendu is angry with DOS. That is the Ejimako. That DOS issue with his siblings. Listen, is they refuse to listen to him and suspend sit at home. But the sit at home was for the siblings to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and see him, for the lawyer to visit him. And upon the announcement of the sit at home, the road opened for them. They did not deliver the message that this sit at home was the thing that created road for us to see you. They blackmailed it. Now, if the siblings can be participating in nomination appointment, nominating people that will be appointed. Do you know they nominate people for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to appoint? Are you aware? You are not aware. You thought it's just a mere sibling that are not fully involved. Our concern is that we were in the case with secure victory. They came up and removed those that secure victory for us and brought lower lawyers. Are you telling me that you will go now that time and remove Ejimako and put
Not
your own
just Mazi, not just not just lower lawyers. I refer to them as charlatans because they have shown that they don't even have value for their legal profession in the
So,
first place.
in removing Ozokome, will you say that the leader of IPOB is not involved? Now, who was giving you reason for their removal? The siblings, not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, are you telling me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not give us reason for the removal? That the sibling was the one giving you reason? That means they removed Ozokome. So, they are fully involved. The same siblings told us that if you don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you don't stand with it in trial with Mazi Nnamdi, you don't want him to further trial, that you don't want him out. And our leader is not a robot. He stood trial. You are telling me that you should leave the sibling, fight only the sibling. Nobody is fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same things coming from sibling and lawyer is what we are confronting. But the people they gather say that you are fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for confronting his siblings, evil of his siblings. So that is the people you will talk to. They channel it that it is for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but we are maintaining the structure. So if maintaining the structure is an offense, then I will know that I did not offend and did not implicate my generation in the oath. If that is a crime, I will maintain that crime of saving my generation from a generational oath. Now,
let us take this caller.
Okay.
Let us take this caller, please. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Are you hearing me?
100%. Go ahead. It's very clear.
Okay. Mazi, Patrick, and Madam, good morning. So I just want to ask you a question. I don't want to add more so that my time will not elapse before. So this question is this. They sentenced our leader with the activities of Simon, you understand? And the siblings of Nnamdi and lawyers and some other persons, which he calls his friend in this struggle, are also doing worse than what Simon did, which is very, very dangerous game. Now, they sentenced him to life imprisonment using Simon's activities and some other things, you understand? And now there's a rumor, or maybe let me just say allegedly, that most of these people that are in the 100-men committee or group or whatever are recruiting some boys for I don't know if it's armed group or whatever for anything. So I'm saying now, my question is this: don't you think that there will still be extra consequences of the activities towards our leader Nnamdi Kanu, like maybe upgrading his jail sentence to something to death? You understand? Because they will still link the whole activities towards him.
Thank you, caller, for that. It's a very brilliant question. Fearless Evangelist, can you respond to that question? A very brilliant question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you for that.
This has been the stand of IPOB, guiding IPOB to maintain what we can respond to, something we can take responsibility of. That is why IPOB is an organization, not something every Igbo man can act and will take responsibility. Now, when they create these things, they are creating this with the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the same thing you said is what it is. They want to implicate him because they cannot control them. And the one thing IPOB have done that is on record for 5 years, the image of IPOB is secured. The people that failed are the lawyers. There is no activity of IPOB that is Maznamkan is convicted with? They should show us one. No one. But today, instead of them to admit that destroying IPOB, those people they say they have sacked and removed is not working, they run around to form another thing. I know that there is a security they formed before when Mazdamkan was kidnapped earlier. It is called Motherland Security. If you have heard about it, go and ask Emmanuel Kano. These people went for a protest in Aba. Mwamomi was involved. From Aba, from flyover, they protested. That protest, you see some of them carry goats, some carry fire on their head, some dressed like a native, and some of them, earlier our leader was brought back to Nigeria. They protest from flyover in Aba to First Road. They were caught. They were caught. Do you know that those people that was caught, that their family members was coming to IPOB? Do you know it was not IPOB protest? It was Emmanuel Kano, his motherland. Now, they did not go for them. They did not go for them. Some people was reporting to me. I was sending to National. National, after investigation, they will know that it's the people that carry on a protest under the command of Emmanuel Kano. Now, the first question you ask yourself, if that is not government, if that is not to favor the government, is how can Madubug, that is in Nigeria, facing trial, right, be going around telling people that he is leading ESN? How can somebody in Nigeria be leading ESN? All these things is in a bid to implicate Maznamdi Kanu. And in a bid to implicate IPOB, because Maznamdi have not been cut off from IPOB and cannot. The issue now is, who are they working for? Are you telling me it's not Maznamdi that launched the 100 men? Have you ever seen the activities of the 100 men apart from attacking DOS? So the 100 men, were they created to attack DOS or to bring a new project? That is a question. Now, the siblings to Maznamdi is involved in the 100 men. Lawyers are involved in the 100 men. The same people doing these things. Now, are you telling me that they are the people that form the 100 men? That Maznamdi is not involved in the 100 men? It
Maz,
so that is an issue here.
It is a laughable situation, but it's not funny. Let us take this
serious issue.
Caller, can you please introduce yourself and where you are calling from? There you go ahead.
Good morning, my people. Good morning, Mazi, Patrick. I'm fearless. You are fearless indeed. You have been a wonderful motivation to us. Fearless, I'm talking to you. Thank you for a wonderful contribution. Then, what I want to say, it's really laughable what is going on. But what I want to say is that what these people are doing, especially these two lawyers, Maswell and Ejimako, these two statements are credited to them in recent time. I want to tell us that it is the same agenda they have started in 2021 to achieve, which is dislodge the movement and cripple the movement. The manner it has been difficult for them to achieve. I want to tell us they have succeeded in overpowering our leader and keeping him in cage. And they want to use that cage that they put him, which is the Sokoto prison now. They want to use it to blackmail us into submission. Now, and they don't have disgrace they don't have shame in their face in what they are doing. And personally, I know that they know what they are doing and they are serious and busy doing it. Both the 100 men, both the siblings, both all these gangsters that have gathered against the structure that has led us for almost these 10 years. So my people, what I want us to do is exactly what we are doing. We should intensify to make sure that we overrun them. Some of them are going to commit suicide based on what they have committed. I was speaking with one of my friends, which is one of us as well. I told the friend that what is going on now is that these people that are doing this gangsterism against our noble movement, that they are paid agents. Maybe some of them signed even serious agreement on the ground and doing what they're doing. Because, come to think of it, how could you go against the charge and acquitted? How could you have lured the honorable leader of the IPOB to life sentence and you still have map to look for who to accuse when you know that it is you that commit the crime? Why are they going about accusing every other person, even when they are the major culprits? Their hands are dented in the calamity that our leader is suffering. Now that they have succeeded to put our leader in a cage, they are on us now. This appeal, I'm even not even too comfortable for them handling it because it is the same scenario. They are just buying time to make sure they succeed in spoiling the movement. That is why they target the personnel of the leadership, the DOS, the major personnel. Yeah. Then, in addition, I want to say something. Now they have incapacitated our leader. They have put him aside. Now they are targeting
Not incapacitated. Not incapacitated. Not incapacitated. They have played their game around him. They have just played their game around him. So our duty is to do our own. Not incapacitated. Just that middleman is dangerous. Middleman in detention. Middleman in detention is very dangerous.
We know our leader from day one, even till now, because even we communicate, our spirit communicate with him, resonate with him even till now. But the point I want to make is that why they are targeting the DOS, especially Chike Dozem and Chinasa, is because they know that Chike Dozem is the person that have legal authority to represent our leader that they are holding down, and they are targeting him too. So anybody that is telling you that there is any leadership crisis in IPOB worldwide is a liar and a paid agent, and we should treat them like that because if you do not, both the siblings, both all these lawyers that are hobnobbing up and down, claiming to be defending Onyendu, do you understand? Their activities, I don't think is serious because they have not shown any form of seriousness. Now they appear that they're supposed to concentrate. One idiot is now telling us that some people want Onyendu to die so that they will take over. In the IPOB leadership, there is nothing taking over. People are already in their positions even before the challenges that Onyendu had. It is just stepping up the game in the absence of our leader. That is all what the leadership is doing. And it is their responsibility to do it. And they must be allowed to do it. These people cannot intimidate us to the point that we should now, what they want to achieve is for everybody to run away so that they will now mess up everything. And we go back to square one. Even worse than when you called us.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller, for that contribution.
So please, we have to rise up and really make sure that these people are taken out of this mess they are causing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. We'll have a caller from Germany. Hold on. Caller from Germany, hold on, please. Some people are complaining that I'm not allowing you to finish your analysis. And I tell them if we allow fearless evangelists 2 weeks, we are still here. 2 weeks, we haven't left this place. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program. So I plead with our audience to understand that fearless evangelist, if you allow him, he will never stop because he always have a lot to say. So while we try to, so that we'll be able to take other calls, because we spent over 2 hours now, and it's like we just started. Caller, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mazi Patrick Ikem and fearless evangelist. Mushineke. Mazi, we are happy for this our update, on BTV, because this time mostly now this is exactly what our people need. The real people that really want freedom. You understand my point? Those that knows the reason we are here. So, quick one. I still want to let us know that the main purpose of these people
doing what they are doing today. One of their 136 tweets yesterday on Twitter, on what is it called, on this black app, which is a TikTok. The ancestors pushed out a word from his mouth yesterday, which I myself, when I heard that word, I was laughing in my mind, and I wish that other of our IPOB members get to understand that this is exactly what they are driving at. Mazi Patrick,
Yes.
what they are trying to get from most of our people that doesn't understand their plan is this. He said that his mission, or their mission, is to make sure that they drag our people until they start to insult Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and abuse him in public. And you get my point? Calling him names. He said that what they are out for is this. For example, like some of us have been asking, what are the contract or the duty of these 100 men, once that is so-called 100 men? You can imagine that and understand that ever since that they said they have been formed as 100 men, nobody can give as in one proof or example of what these guys has.
No, they said that the 100 men are working on the ground.
It's a Bubago now, just to counter ESN, just as the governor created a Bubago to counter ESN. That's a Bubago for you.
Okay. Mazi, remember they used to accuse and abuse DOS as underground people.
Yes.
They have been underground for 5 years without.
They have joined the DOS. They are now looking for the DOS underground too. They are adopting the DOS. They are adopting the DOS operational mechanism.
Mazi, see, the caller, please see, you know, the person you are talking about, his own agenda is any Christian that is in DOS should be attacked. You know, people easily forgot. Methuselah, his own is, he said Christian in DOS, he declared it. All of them are suspended though. So when they second now, their language is, hey, I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No, people have their personal interest. People have their anger. People have the project they brought that IPOB rejected. If you want the Christian as to go after saboteurs as Ambazonians are doing, you know, remove every Christian that is in DOS. This one is one person agenda. But where do they channel it? Free Nnamdi Kanu. They hate Nnamdi Kanu. So that is it.
We know this is, my brother. The reason why we are bringing these things up for this live broadcast now is this, because it's to throw more light to what you guys are passing, the message you are passing here. Because some of our people, you know, we are fighting from different angles, from different faces. As you are here on television, if you still go to TikTok and we are going there, and we are busting them from different angles. That's why I bring this message here is for some of our people, for them never to misunderstand whatever that is happening now. These guys have special agenda. How can somebody that jailed an innocent man, somebody that court has discharged and acquitted, instead of all hands to be on the behalf of these lawyers that have secured this victory, for we to let our leader go? No, they said he must face trial. They send him back to prison, even giving life imprisonment. The same people have the all fund to come back to start to accuse the same group of lawyers that secured victory to this man. IPOB movement has stood on this charge and acquitted since 2021 up to today. They still have the guts to come back and look for blame against IPOB and the Directorate of State and the barristers like Sam Ozokome and Barrister Fanye Tofo. And I begin to ask myself, if not for this internet and an opportunity like this, how can our people know that there's people that are wicked like this? And the worst of it is that when they are destroying your life, they will keep on, trying to manipulate the mind of the people to see them as the real people. Some people are taking for the mind because these are brother Mazi Nnamdi Kanu siblings, and you won't allow these people to destroy the entire race, Igbo race, or the effort of Biafra. We are out for Biafra. We are not out for anybody. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is just like a messenger. He spoke, and we heard, and what he said is what we've been expecting to hear. This is what we've been crying for. We've been asking, is there no longer any hope for us? So when we heard that voice, that is why we rally around behind him. That doesn't make that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not Biafra. Because you know what they are doing? This 120, 30 state or whatever, go and see the people that is following him now. They are even so-called Christians that he said he would destroy. You understand my point? And these people, ask them what are they pushing? What are they pushing? Ask them what is the fault of IPOB leadership? In what way has the leadership of IPOB gotten it wrong? Bring us the evidence of the reasons why you say that
these people do not have the capacity. Let's not even go there. They lack the capacity. I want you to round up so that, because millions of calls are coming in. If not, we might not leave this program today. I want to see how we can attend to as much calls as possible. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you.
The core message is this: for our people to know that what they are pushing is so that we, because they keep on bringing this provocative message to our people. So
don't worry, we are on top of the matter. Don't bother yourself.
Thank you.
Let us take care.
I tell our brothers, nobody should go against that. Maybe that trash.
Don't worry, we're gonna take care of it. Let us take Mazi CJ from Ireland. Hello, Mazi. Happy Easter. Welcome to the program.
Mazi Patrick, thank you for bringing me in. I wasn't gonna say who I was, or who I am, but
go ahead. Go ahead. We can see your name on your.
Anyway, I just call in today. What I want to tell Biafrans and everyone that is listening today or watching is that the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not the target of that kidnap. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not the target of that kidnap. The target was DOS and the IPOB. And the reason why they still hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison, of which is quite obvious, a lot of IPOB know that, is because IPOB and DOS have not been destroyed. Now, I give you one example. For less than 48 hours, Mazi came, I told you this in Spain.
Yes.
And it came as a shock to you. For less than 48 hours, after the news broke that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, Rabbi Charles from South Africa, everybody remember him, convoked a meeting, a worldwide meeting. Everyone you hear about the IPOB at that time was in that meeting, except members of the DOS. I was there. Of course, you know what I do for IPOB. And anyone that was in that meeting that's listening today, both from America, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, were there. This meeting was chaired by Rabbi Charles. Do you know the aim of the meeting? DOS must be destroyed. This was less than 48 hours, or even less than 24 hours, because we were very active in this struggle. So they knew who to bring in and who to come in to talk to about this. Of course, like I said, I was there. This meeting went on for more than 8 hours. We had it 3 times. And on the 3rd day, because the first I went in, I listened, he didn't speak. The second day, I listened.
I remember you told me in Spain. Yes.
Okay.
I
just want to tell people, I want to just say this one, so that people will understand the reason why the DOS has been the issue for these people. Okay? Now, the 3rd day, it was me and one guy from Belgium called Agu Jebe. I don't think he's still with us now. Agu Jebe gave out to Rabbi Charles, because Rabbi Charles And there's one other elderly man in Switzerland that was chased out of IPOB that was championing this aim to make sure IPOB, the DOS, in fact, they want to change everything IPOB because they wanted us to swear a different oath. And that was what got me. When they mentioned the US, remember our people were still reeling. They were still reeling the shock of seeing Mazin Nnamdi Kanu in that state, including the members of the US. Everybody was confused. And these people convoked this meeting, I'm telling you. Now, and because we were two men in that meeting, that was why this meeting lasted for close to 7 to 8 hours each time to allow people to speak. So Agu Jebwe, because when Rabbi Charles comes in, he threatens everybody. You know his tone. You know, anyone that knows Rabbi Charles those days would know his tone on Radio Biafra. He came with that tone, threatening people the first day, the second day, then the third day, because we were in a small group called a security group. One other thing from America leads that group. If she's listening, she knows what I'm talking about. And she was in that meeting too. Now, you know what that thing from America. Now, it was on the third day. Before we went to the third day, we had a small meeting in our group, which at that time, the US recognized our group, Mazin has our group, Oyendu recognized our group that time. IPOB was kind of divided subgroup, people that think and bring in ideas and other things for things to work. You know yourself. So I was in a particular group. So on that third day, Agu Jebwe stood up and gave out to, you know what I mean by giving out, shunned Mr. This guy, what do you call him?
The Rabbi Charles.
Rabbi Charles. That he shouldn't be bamboozling people here. Who is he? Then after he finished, I picked up the mic. I said, let me ask you guys here. Are you guys telling me that our people are in this shock at this time? You want to get rid of DOS? What do you want our people to do? Who's going to direct our people? Who's going to lead our people? Who's going to guide our people? What do you guys want to achieve here? Oh my God. That was when a lot of us, some of our radio broadcasters were there too. I tell you, anyone you hear about radio and you hear on the IPOB, except members of the US was there. And they picked people that lead in their own groups to bring the group in there. So the reason I made this point is that what we are seeing today about DOS is not a shock. That was the original plan. Nnamdi Kanu was not the target of his kidnap. The target is DOS and IPOB must be destroyed.
And Mazi, let me ask you. You know that many of us and many of our people does not even understand the importance of the DOS until now that we are now seeing their importance. As at then, people just saw DOS as a structure that organized, but we didn't understand how their role and the danger they pose to the enemy.
So that's one point made. My second point and the last one. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead. Don't make your point very fast so that it will be rounding up.
My last point. I want to leave this point. Because the time comes when people reflect on a lot has happened in the last 5 years, Mazi came. You know that. Those of us in the front line know what we are talking about. Okay? Now, with time, we are allowed, and we are entitled to reflect on this journey. Anyone coming here to tell us that we are not allowed to reflect and ask questions, it's time to ask questions. We've managed to keep these questions down, to prove to the Nigerian authorities and whoever is against us that IPOB, we can survive. And IPOB survived till today. We've managed to pull IPOB from there and it survived. Now it's time to reflect on this journey, to ask questions, and these questions we must find answers in order to forge ahead on a new plan. Now, one question I want to ask, or one comment I want to make is, I strongly believe, because Chimazi Nwodo have come here, have come on Radio Biafra to tell us that Onyendu distanced DOS more than 6 months, if I'm mistaken, correct me, ahead of his rendition. Now, Onyendu was not attending DOS, and DOS played it down out of obedience, or should I say maybe obedience to Onyendu. They never came out to tell IPOB general. How can Onyendu distance DOS over 6 months and comes on the radio every day to tell us to obey DOS? While he has removed himself from DOS. When you remove yourself from DOS, he has automatically removed himself from IPOB, because DOS is where IPOB go first before Onyendu. So when you remove the leadership of a company or of an organization or an institution, you've automatically removed that institution from your list. So that happened. Now, I believe that when Onyendu was not coming to DOS meeting, he was attending another meeting somewhere else. I mean, if I'm wrong, it is that maybe Onyendu is listening. In a way that he responds, they say now that he's everywhere. Let him respond. We have a right to ask questions. And now, which meeting was he going? My instinct is telling me that both Simon Eba, Nelly, even the so-called Rabbi Chas, and some of these people that are now bandying this DOS thing, they had been in a meeting pre-rendition. And the meeting at that time, or the group, were in layers, like you see IPOB in layers, from top down. And I guarantee you, I had a member that must have been in that meeting, giving the questions this lady was asking me within the 3 weeks or within the 2 weeks when he was absent, before he was shown in Nigeria. Now, if there was no meeting, if there was no agreement, how come Simon Eba became the leader within less than 24 hours? Nigerian government announced him as the leader. Obasanjo knew him as a leader, as a fierce leader. Nelly knew him as a leader, and everyone knows that Simon Eba as a leader. Then Onyendu, we have heard here that that one order was given. Onyendu went back through Onyendu, which means he worked with him. And today, yesterday, can you hear me?
Go ahead, round it up, because we'll be rounding up the program soon.
Okay, so I don't want to say too much, but what I'm trying to say here is that it seemed to me that there was something that went on outside of the US before Onyendu, that before his rendition. Until today, since Onyendu have been in Nigeria, it seems like he never want to see IPOB. And every IPOB around the world stayed put. Was very, very steadfast and fighting for him and fighting for Biafra. But it's like Onyendu doesn't want IPOB and DOS anymore. We have to face that reality. And lastly, I just want to make this, I just hope Onyendu will not come out tomorrow and say it is DOS that sold me. I leave that with you. Because when somebody begins to go the wrong direction, they continue going the wrong direction. It is called the conflict between the false and the true self in psychology. Go and read it up. Anybody that have, read it up. The conflict between the two and the first step. I did a thesis. My postgraduate thesis was on that. So this is what I see. When instead of it to go down, everything goes down together.
Yeah, thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. Mazi Madabuchi. You can hear from our brother. He's one of our prominents in Ireland. He has just made his position. We are going to take more calls, so because if we say we will analyze everything, we might not be able. Mazi, you have 3 minutes, please. You have 3 minutes. You are welcome to the program. Caller. Caller, introduce yourself. Mazi Judo Kafo.
Yes, thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much for picking up my call. What I have to contribute. Are you hearing me, Mazi?
Go ahead. Just raise your voice and speak on.
Yes, let me raise my volume.
You get 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Am I coming out clearly, Mazi?
100% as usual. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mazi. My name is Judo Kafo, and Judo Kafo is from Agbo. In fact, I'm not from Agbo. I'm from a place in Ikaland. Because in Ikaland, we have different village communities, different kingdoms. My own contribution today is at this moment now, we are going through psychological period in IPOB. And for me, I've come to realize all this why when all these things happen, they sit down, they look the atmosphere, what did they happen? All these things is psychological. First of all, I must thank DOS. All the European rep and the HOD. They are doing a wonderful work. And all Biafra should thank Mazi Chikidosiem. They are the reason why IPOB exists today is because of DOS. And DOS we will follow. On behalf of Mazi Nande Kanu, DOS, I thank you people very much. Because those of us that see beyond human imagination, like I, Judo Kafo, I thank you personally myself because I have seen spiritually, physically, that DOS are the reason why IPOB still exists today, Radio Biafra. We are hearing about Biafra. Because if this man would have given up due to all the confusion, all the lies and blackmail, that IPOB saw this, IPOB did that, DOS and this, DOS that, starting from Samuel Ekman to Nelly Ofuegu to everything, all their jack up and their plan is to destroy Radio Biafra, destroy IPOB, and destroy DOS. But being who Chukwu Okike Abiama is, that seem beyond human imagination, that seem beyond our thinking, our reasoning as a human being, that searches the heart of man, wicked, good, bad, and ugly. And today, IPOB is still standing. Radio Biafra is still on. IPOB is moving forward because Chukwu Abiyama have searched the heart of DOS. DOS are innocent of every allegation. Our leader from DOS at the end of the day, Mazi Nande cannot betray DOS. You can never assemble men across the globe for the cause of Biafra before you pick this man to become DOS. And you yourself, Mazi Nande Kanu, you are part of DOS. At the end of the day, you begin to listen to Elohim, women and men begin to lie that IPOB, DOS want to take over your post. DOS want to betray you. And you move to Kenya without telling the people that you assembled That means you didn't trust them from day one, Mazin and Nikano. I'm talking to you directly. Because some of us cannot go to Biafra land. Some of us cannot go to our land no more because we have been, our name is all over the DOS or whatever. Because of this struggle. DOS, Chukwa, Biama, we bless you people. They first of all came that they want to destroy Radio Biafra. They want to destroy DOS. All those mind games they are playing today, the Nigerian government is laughing at them. Because that is what they were instructed to do. To denounce DOS, bring down Radio Biafra, destroy IPOB. But they don't know, little did they know that Chukwa Biama is beside IPOB. Is for IPOB and DOS. What I'm calling, what I call today is to tell Biafrans, don't stand gidiba, don't shake it. Don't listen to any news that is coming from Sokoto. Hey, we are going to 400 men. Hey, DOS is this. Those lawyers are criminals. They are all trying to make money. All of them. Look at the other day, I was watching the other lawyer. He's driving Homer Jeep. On Facebook, I saw his car, Homer Jeep. All of them have houses in Abuja and building schools all over with IPOB money. DOS said, don't go to court. Let's start the hospital. They went forward. They have S, and today they become. But we must stand and listen to DOS. DOS is the people that we know now, in this moment. Until Mazin Nandi comes out and resign and say, I'm no longer in IPOB, then we will know where to go.
Mazi, thank you very much. You have exceeded. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, from the United Kingdom. I don't know who is calling in from the United Kingdom. That was our lovely brother Jude Okafo from the United States of America. You have 2 minutes, so because we are rounding up, caller, your name and where you are calling from. 2 minutes, make it fast. Make it fast, please.
My Egyptian Patrick, salute you and fearless evangelist. This is your brother, C2 calling you from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Okay,
you're welcome to the program.
Yes, I hear my brother that just spoke finish. It's a very good that you guys are here to educate our people. This is what we should be doing now, that we cannot allow the repeat of Samanepa again in our land. It is very, very important. We cannot allow the criminal Samanepa activities again, which is going to be held by Kano Takano and all these lawyers that have jailed Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. They have succeeded in jailing Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. These are a bunch of criminals. These are hyenas and savages. We cannot allow them again. And I want to say something here. Onion do tell us that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. And let me make it clear. We heard now that Onion do is on social media. By who? By Ella Ejimako. Isn't it? That is what he says, isn't it? Now, since Onyendu, he said that he is going to, if you offend Biafra, he is not going to forgive you. But if you offend him, he is going to forgive you. This is his word. I am quoting Mazin Nnamdi Kanu vividly. That if you offend Biafrans, if you offend Biafra, he will never forgive you. But if you offend him, he can forgive. But Onyendu, we are all praying for you to make sure we never left you to perish. We are here fighting. But Onyendu, since you are in social media, I am not the one that said it. It is one of your lawyer, Ejimako, that said it. We now know that you are hearing us, our voice. Our people have died a lot. We can't continue watch our people to be killed. By the activities of these your lawyers, by the activities of Kanu Takano and Meme, your siblings, since Onyendu is on social media, I wasn't the one that said it. It was his lawyer, Ejimako, that said it. That Onyendu is not happy from what he's saying, which means Onyendu is listening now. I want to tell Onyendu specifically that your brothers are single-handedly partnering with the Nigerian government, and Biafrans are dying.
the freedom that you champion, that this freedom is not going to see corruption. I am telling you now that the corruption is coming from your siblings. Only the since you are seeing, we are still standing with you. We are not going to allow you to perish. We are still standing, but correct the injustice that your brothers are laying accusation against innocent the DOS, which you are part of them. Your brothers have been causing havoc since 2015 on this struggle, which we have no knowledge of it, until if I for an innocent lawyer. You yourself, you know. You yourself tell us that this Ifeanyi Ejiofor was the only man who single-handedly released you without harm on the Nigeria territory. You said it with your own mind that this is the only lawyer who released you. Mazi Onyendu, you are the one that said this thing from your own mouth. I am angry. I want to lay my emphasis just the way our people are saying it. We are still standing behind you, Kidiba, but we want to say we are not going to be blind shishipuli again, following anybody that comes out and throw something that's going to affect our people in Biafra land. Onyendu, your siblings, the activities, and these people, the command you are giving from the dungeon is affecting Biafra. So our people are being murdered from the activities of your brothers. Every blessed day. Onyendu, I am going to tell you now, since you are watching, since you are on social media, I wasn't the one that said it. It is your lawyer Jimako that said it. Onyendu, please, we are going to start playing some Mandela video right from when you were being adopted, so that you can judge by yourself. Since you are on social media, now, you can see what Eberima did, Samaneba did to this struggle and did to you, and call your wife a prostitute in social media. If you like it, then therefore you acknowledge what Takano and Meme and these lawyers that jail you. If you don't know that these lawyers single-handedly jail you, which means I will be beginning to trust what you said again. If you don't know, if Onyendu told me that he did not know that these lawyers, which Ifeanyi Ejiofor, may God bless that man and Ozokome, who single-handedly fight, and what we get is discharged and acquitted, which is a very good result. There is no any president of this world, there is no any country of this world that we are going to go and say that Onyendu has been given discharged and acquitted. They will welcome it. But you watch these people say that you are going to stand trial by your own siblings. Takano said that you are going to stand trial, and you went and stand trial. What happened with the discharged and acquitted? That Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Barrister Nsokom again, this innocent man and your brothers came to lay them allegation. I am angry because you know the statutes of Ejiofor and Nsokom. An innocent man, which is not an Igbo man, he will went to any organization in America, in Britain, in Canada, he will be pleading for you to be released. That they have done everything. That what is holding you there is political. That you are prisoners of conscience. It was as a result of they have to sort it by politics whatsoever. That it wasn't a case of judgment that is holding you. It was Nigerian government who deliberately holding you. This man is going preaching everywhere he went to. I keep listening to him. He will kneel down. I keep preaching about you. That they want you to be released. He is preaching. None of any Igbo man have done it. And so come we went to occasion. This man will be preaching.
Even in birthday parties, burial ceremony, any occasion at all that Ozekome had, and even when he went to visit on his normal routine, he will make sure that he invite journalists to talk about our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, continuously pleading with Nigerian government for his release. Kola, I want to thank you for making our day. Thank you very much.
Let me stop here.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Start playing some activities for him so that he will see by himself. Thank you for giving this up.
Thank you very much. There are some people I need to call back. They have been trying this one, and they have been consistently trying. So I want to see how I can, Hello, caller. I have to cut you off earlier because you didn't listen to me. To tune down the volume of your listening device. Tune down the volume of your listening device. That is why I cut you off earlier.
But it's not. I'm not where the. I'm not where the gadget is. Can you hear me now?
Okay, go ahead now. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Mazi, yeah. I just want to thank you for the program. I just want to thank you for the program for all you guys have been saying. I just want to thank you for all you guys have been saying. Yeah. The thing is that I think we are overflowing this issue, Mazi. Okay, for the purpose of introduction, we don't hide ourselves. I'm mad doing this issue from South Africa.
Okay.
Yes. I think we are overflowing this issue unnecessarily. I've said it time without number. When Wazirike was when Masop was booming, I checked all their activities. I was not enticed because there was no laid down structure that will make me to join such a movement. If not for anything, for the fact that this is freedom fighting and it is risky that anything can happen. Does it mean that if we build an individual totally, that maybe something happens to the individual, that the movement will stop? No, it will not. Okay, let's assume that this thing that happened to Onyendu, that it happened that they killed him. Okay, it's possible. People die every day, and Mazi Nandikano is not immortal. He can die. Anything can happen to him. He can die. So he's a human. So does it mean that if he's no more there, that we'll stop the agitation? We'll stop the movement? No. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot has been done. Our eyes are wide open. Nobody will manipulate us again. Nobody will, say. And Onyendu should thank God. Onyendu should be thanking God for having the kind of, leadership he has. Because I don't know where I don't know how he managed to pick this kind of man that is clothed with patience and tolerance. There are people that will be there. They will be asking him a lot of questions. Whatever will be, let it be. And they will be asking questions. But he just like, I don't know where he just selected them. Whatever he says, nobody accused with him. And that is not the kind of Biafra we envisage. That is not the kind of Biafra we want to have. Because if we should go...
the lawyer, Mother Abuchi, I know that you are feeling. I know you are feeling bored. Yes, I know you are feeling bored. The way you are putting your hand.
No. I am catching.
Yes.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, because the way you are putting your hand on the cheek is like you're feeling bored. No. Yeah. So I'll be coming to you. I'll be coming to you because we'll be analyzing also some of the
They are
points.
contributing enough.
Yeah, caller, you have just 1 minute so that we'll be able to take other calls, please.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that our leader is so lucky to have this kind of loyal TOS. Even myself, I'm sorry to say it, if I was member of TOS, maybe I would have been sacked for a very long time because I'll be asking questions. Because even where I managed to lead them as the national coordinator, they placed me and asked me thorough questions. They asked questions. So, but he's so lucky. I believe he should just utilize the opportunity because he can never, this kind of men, they hardly come along. I mean, they hardly combine. And not only that, I wish also people, as the lawyer said, that he's hearing all we are saying. I wish is the right time he should, call his siblings in order because people are angry. People are very, very angry.
those finance of IPOB are not people like here in South Africa. People go to the streets. People go to streets to make sure that anything they can do to get those money, to make sure they pay their dues. And it's not what people will gather at the end of the day. You will be telling them story that I'm telling you, because if something is not done, if people might do anything, stupid.
Yeah, take laws.
or
People might take laws into their hands. You're right.
So people might take laws into their hand. I don't even know. Maybe because they see how loyal the DOS is. Maybe Martin Nandekalo saw how loyal the DOS are to him. Maybe he used it to generalize everybody in IPOB. These people, they are taking chances. They are playing they are taking a very big risk if they don't know. I just wish that Martin Nandekano will be. And Martin Nandekano happens to be the most loved Igbo Biafra agitator ever existed. Ojukwu agitated with his father's money. And the people that went to fight me for Biafra war, they didn't go for it because of Ojukwu. They went for that because they want freedom. They want their freedom. They didn't go there for those people who think that when you are calling out on our leader on some certain things, where he didn't get it wrong, where he didn't get it right, that you are attacking him. I don't know how we are going to build a Biafra with such a mentality. They are psychophants. They are not telling him the truth. You see.
No, Mazi, I've already said it in some of my program that the fight we are fighting now is necessary and important thing, and we need this fight to be able to straighten our path, because if we don't fight this fight, then we are going to restore a decayed foundation. Biafra will this foundation is decayed. We cannot afford to restore a Biafra where we'll be jumping from frying pan to fire. Yesterday, okay, let me leave you, caller. Let me leave you. Yesterday, I was making an analysis in my head, and I said that if we do not help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now to be a better leader, then we are all going to be doomed at the end of the day. Because just look at the amount of resources in Biafra land, where, for example, we have to hand over the kind of human, natural resources to an individual to control. With this level of, with the thing that is going on in this struggle now, if we hand the type of resources, the cubic gas and mineral resources in one man's hand, where it has to be dictatorial, authoritarian, one man have to control the military. If the Biafran people do not start now to strengthen institutions that will manage our resources, and we allow one individual to control these abundant resources, it's going to end up as a disaster. It's going to end up as a disaster. So the fight we are fighting today is not for today. It's going to be for the future, so that any leader who is coming tomorrow will understand that the people he's dealing with are resilient and they are not going to tolerate excesses. And many of us are ready to put our lives on the line to make sure that we do not bastardize a future Biafra where our children will be slaves. Maazi Madu Abuchi, come in. Let's see if we can take in more call before we round up.
Okay. Thank you, Mazi. You see, I appreciate our callers. What we have here is maintaining what involves our life, our future, our success, and the main project at hand. Because I was in Masop. When I left Masop, in Masop I was preaching. I was a enlightenment unit member who goes to the market. They intimidate people. They come to your line, to the market, in that line, to do national anthem. Masop will say no movement in the market until they finishes national anthem. When we come to IPOB, they don't do it. when I start my evangelism in IPOB, I will preach. If the other day there was a place I went to, I keep my speaker. They say go carry it, move. I move my speaker to this side. They say no, nah, this is morning. They have just come to market. So I know I now say okay. They thought I'm a church person. I have come to preach. So the same thing that I'll be hearing. Immediately I shift the this thing. I hold my microphone. I say na hachukwu abiama. They now know that I come with a different thing. That's when everybody now put interest. They thought I have come to tell them about church preaching. So what IPOB came with are different. Everything we do is different completely. So what we are trying to do is to let our people know why we gather, why we have been taking risks, why we have been contributing. We contribute because there is a structure that proves to us that even when we are not there, when we die or when we leave, that everything we sow will never be in vain. That a structure is there to handle it. Then those that lost their parents, we always tell them that there is a IPOB. They will not forget you. We did not say there is this family Thomas Namdekan that they will not forget you. No, we say IPOB. That is why in the second appointment of all in IPOB, Maznam Khan does not sign memo. The memo does not come from his office. It comes from Directorate of State and signed by head of Directorate of State. Even removal of Deputy Director Uchemefo was the memo did not come from the office of our leader. The memo came from Directorate of State and was signed by Mazike Doziem, the removal of Uchemefo. Now, the abolishment of the Deputy Leader Office was also, the memo came from Directorate of State. And the memo was signed by head of Directorate of State. The abolishment of the deputy office. So you can see that people are just trying to push something that doesn't exist in IPOB, that I will now be obeying Maznam Kano Dare because he's a leader. There is a complete lie. There is a channel whereby he communicates me on IPOB command. Now, on the message in his office, he can communicate me through somebody, right? On the things in his office, IPOB leadership, both Directorate of State, cannot manage things in the office of our leader. He can send his siblings to run things in his office. He can send lawyer to run things in office, but he cannot send his siblings to run things in any state under IPOB in Biafra. No, but he can send his sibling a message in a state with the name of IPOB leader. But to go and run IPOB, that Onyendu say, it doesn't happen. Under IPOB, the local government can mobilize and beat you.
Yes, let us take this caller. Caller, are you there? Fast. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes because we'll be rounding up soon. I believe that Fearless Evangelist explanation is making sense. Go ahead, please. Your name and where you are calling from.
You are hearing me, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Amy Chris calling from Italy. Thank you, Master Evangelist. You are doing the great job. And then everything you have said here is accordingly. Our onion do draft and the leadership drafted code of conduct, and after he has a problem, it was amended some certain things inside. And for IPOB to function, we must respect that of our rules and regulation and the structure. That is the basic things any IPOB must do. And now, as things stand, we have been respecting it. Anybody who came to IPOB trying to disrespect this structure should not be tolerated. And we will not allow anybody to disrespect Onyendu. We have every respect for Onyendu. Onyendu also must have respect for us. We never came to struggle because of individual. We came to struggle to restore Biafra, not to restore Onyendu or restore US or restore anybody. We are here to restore Biafra. So anybody doing anything that violates or contradict our structure must be not be tolerated with it. So Onyendu, any other, if Onyendu did not go to the right channel to need money from IPOB, we will not give that money to him. If Onyendu didn't even know that the IPOB is the only structure he has, if he need money or whatever he want to do, that money will be given to him through IPOB, and we go our process of producing that money. If you don't go that way, that money he will not see it. That we cannot have a nice structure and he leave the structure and go for Avid or go to any other person. And during this struggle, the other way I've been in this struggle since 2015, I have not had Oyendo, the siblings of Oyendo, having any position. So they should not direct. Lawyers must to attend their course according to the lawyer, as a lawyer, not as an IP member, but which they never been. Or if your firm maintain that they are not IP lawyers, they are not IP members, they cannot speak for them. So any lawyer coming to deliver a wrong message, even if the message is from Oyendo, but if the message is wrong, we will not take it because we know the structure already. We already have the structure, and we are trying to maintain that structure, make sure that structure works. Without that structure work, IPOB cannot exist. For we to exist, we must maintain that structure. That's the point. Whether Oyendo or whoever it might be, trying to disrespect that structure should not be tolerated. That is our stand. So anybody propagating whether they want to remove Oyendo, we will not allow the US to disrespect Oyendo. We will not allow Oyendo to disrespect the US. Everybody must work according to the structure. That structure is upon which we took oath and swear that we must respect it. Anybody trying to violate it should be dealt with. That is our stand. So, Madabuchu, you are doing very well. We are following what we are saying because what we are saying is correct. Anybody trying to go contrary to that, I will not. We put him in one place. So IPOB remains where we are. We are trying to let our people to understand that what we are doing, we are trying to restore Biafra. And lastly, this is the last fight we are going to fight. Because the zoo government has proposed a fight against Simon, against all the saboteurs. Even those that they give, they are not military, but they wear the military uniform to go Biafra land to go and fight. Somebody like one US soldier they deported from Turkey. So these the people the Nigerian government are arranging to fight us. But this is the last one. And after this, we will restore Biafra. Because this is between us and Oyendo and the family. So they want to see that whether they be able to disorganize or which they can never. In 70 years, they can never. We remain where we are, and that people remain strong. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you for that call. Thank you. Very sharp and precise. Yeah, we'll be. Oh my God, calls keep coming in. Let me see if I can. Because we'll be running. You say we'll be running up, but the roundup self equate people. You know, today is a holiday and everybody is at home. So we are bringing this program at the right time for our people. Caller, make it. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Master Patrick. Great reference and wonderful.
Wenito, no. Are you just waking from sleep? Raise your voice a bit, please.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Wonderful people of Biafra and lovers of freedom. My name is Mazi Ibogochu. Just to make a quick contribution regarding this program that is ongoing today. The issue regarding what our leaders and siblings are doing, they have to fall back to, to things that has happened in the past. First of all, we must remember what they said immediately when Mazen and the girl was kidnapped. They told us that Mazen and the Kanu was the sole purpose and the reason why their parents died. That it is because of this struggle and because of Mazen and the Kanu that their parents died. That therefore, before Mazen and the Kanu will be released, that they will make a whole lot of money, that they will use this is incarceration, that they will use this opportunity to make a whole lot of money before he will be freed. That they have to make sure that they will be fine, they will be okay, they will be rich, and they will use this opportunity to make a whole lot of money. So we shouldn't be surprised, seeing the activities, how they are mingling with politicians, collecting money, and doing all sorts of things to discredit the works of the leadership of this movement. This is what they they have been commissioned to do. No one should be surprised. They have said it initially that they must use this opportunity to make a lot of money, and they are doing it. But what I'm saying is, as long as IPOB is concerned, we are in the position to keep record, because finally, as long as Biafra is restored, everybody will account for all their deeds. We must remember that the creed of IPOB remains, that we must remain fearless before our enemies. We must be fearless before our enemies. We must tell the truth, even though it leads to death. That we must help those who cannot help themselves. And that we should continue to be a good character, that Chukwukabiyama may love thee. We cannot falter from our creed. We must continue to remain focused, continue to support the leadership in the works that they are doing. Because IPOB and this leadership, this movement is the last hope of every Biafran. So we must keep on keeping on and not allow anything to deter us. This is our last hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Very straightforward to the point. Thank you very much for that. Maazimadu Abuchi, we have just like 10 minutes to round up, but there is this caller that keep calling me. Okay, it's one of our comrades. Let me see if I can get back to him. He's going to be the last caller for the day. He's going to be the last caller for the day, and we're going to round up. Then, if it's possible, if Biafrans want us to continue, we can come back later in the evening, so that we'll take some break. Please stay away from noise. You are in a noisy place, caller. Please. Your name, where you're calling from, and make your contribution. You have 2 minutes. If Biafrans want us to come back later in the evening, we promise we can make up and come back in the evening, so that, because I can see a lot of comment, no, we must continue. Let us take some break. Then we'll come back later. Allah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mazi. I believe you can hear me a bit.
Go ahead.
On my way somewhere, please.
Go ahead.
Me. Okay, actually, I thank you for so far.
Yes.
Actually, I listened to one of our brother who said target was the DOS, and he's very, very correct, because with the look of things, by the way, my name is Mazi Jidofo, sorry. So, with the look of things, the caller that asserted that very information, or should I say that pointed at that direction, is not far from the truth. Because with the look of things, when you calculate from the time Onyendu began to disassociate himself from the leadership, it shows that the struggle, to me, he has given up the struggle. He has sold the struggle away already. Just that there's no any way or means they can inform the leadership, I beg, let us stop this thing, I'm tired. That is why he started by disassociating himself. People came and told him that his wife will poison him. And when you follow all these things, you will now understand that even before the kidnap and rendition, that this man has already made a part, has a different part for this struggle. Because traveling to Kenya, I don't think that the wife is aware, because if the wife is aware before the rendition, at least when the communication was going on, the wife will inform, look at what is happening to my husband. And when all these things happened, the first thing is to target the leadership. Because these are the leadership that they don't know how to convince, okay, we have done this thing enough, let us stop here. And there is no any means. So the best means is just to attack them. The only means left is just to attack them. I will be in this place, but let the attack continue on them, because these people are very stubborn. They can never agree with me. So the caller that said the target was the leadership is not far from the truth. When you begin to calculate all these things, you will not understand that the man himself, I could say, to my calculation, if I may be wrong or right, that he fed up with the struggle itself. That in fact the struggle is done. At least I have gathered a lot of money that I can use to buy house anywhere that I wish to buy house and live my life. But I don't know how to talk to this leadership to jettison this struggle. So we have to do it in this way, in a disguised manner, whereby I am their leader. Once I am get hold of these people, they can easily be destroyed. But to their greatest surprise, they never knew that men came out for this struggle, sacrificing. And that is the problem since 2021 to today. The problem is destroy the leadership. Destroy the leadership. And we are watching. This time around, most of the time, they will come and begin to poke IPOB to bring evidence. Why they know the evidence themselves? The head of the Department of Finance is only 2 persons. Let them publish all their transactions. Then we now defend it. If they are really sincere, we are waiting for them to bring their evidence, not telling the leadership to bring evidence, because we know their smartness. And the Mazen and Kano educated us on this. And you can't educate people to be smart and intelligent. Once those people got all this enlightenment, you are not expect them to go back to dumbing era age or whatsoever. No, we are in a digital stage. Our people are very smart people. Just teach them that thing you need to teach them. They will perform more than what you have taught them. After all, professors today, a teacher that taught them. Most of the teachers that taught the professors today are not professors. Elon Musk today is a lecturer that taught him, but today now he's even more civilized and more intellectual than the lecturer that taught him.
Sophisticated
So
than the teacher. Thank you very much. This is our last caller. Mazimado Abuchi, let us round it up. Then
Okay.
you tell me if it will be possible for you to be available later in the evening. If you have that availability, maybe that by that late in the evening, we might also have other analysts to join us in the program. Because today is holiday, so we are going to take advantage of today's holiday to talk to our people. Is an opportunity we cannot afford to miss. So if we have to come back, we are going to invite more analysts. Then we'll continue on the topic and see what we can gain from what we have. Round up your last
Okay.
few.
Let me. Okay. There was a place I stopped. Then I want to finish it by saying that even a zonal coordinator sends people message from his office. Even an what is it called? Regional coordinator can message somebody, an IPOB member, from his office. That does not authorize you to act as the very national coordinator, as the state coordinator, because the person sent you message from his office does not make you automatically to be commanding people. That is where the lawyers are getting it wrong. That is where the siblings and those people that come up and say, Onyendu can send you a message from his office. He cannot send you a message from the office of Directorate of State. He cannot send you to go and sign memo of IPOB. And the magic them used to send people message from his office. The same thing with continental reps. They send people messages from their office. So why is it that people that Mazdan can send message from their office, from his office, they while the same leadership have been sending people messages from their offices? Go and check this thing for me, because he want to do well in his office. Go and do this for me, please. I'm not around. Make sure you do this. Go there for me. Go here for me. Person is guiding his office. It does not authorize you to go to the state and conduct a meeting No, it doesn't happen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us that he cannot go to Abia State without informing the state coordinator of Abia. He told us in Umuahia that in Ugwu nkwaye ejemuta nwanyi jimuta ibe ya, that before he go there, he will inform him so that he will monitor the ground and welcome him, inform people that he's coming. He recognized that that person has an office, and he will recognize that person's office before coming. That is what we are saying. That there is no.
But he ended up in Kenya without informing IPOB Kenya. So what happened?
That is a movement from his office. Now that it concerns us is when he was arrested. They still deny us access to his torture. That is what I am concerned, because IPOB leadership member does not live in a room. They does not live in a place. Let's just say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went for his personal mission or personal movement, but when something happened, why did he also deny us access? Because Kanunta cannot voluntarily deny IPOB access to the torture of our leader. They cannot. They cannot, because he was handling the communication device of our leader. So it was the same cutting access, which the Kenyan denial of IPOB access is the main key of our problem today. That is why we tell our people today that if lawyer that Mazi Nnamdi can send message from his office cannot go and send message to where he was asked to send message, and he will come in the open to start commanding IPOB with the influence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because you are privileged to. We will counter the message because we don't know you. You are the same people who told us to shut down Radio Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot communicate us through middlemen, but he can communicate DOS through middlemen. Then the DOS duty is to filter the message. We individually cannot filter a message from somebody because we are waiting for a message of our leader through DOS in our units. We are not waiting for his message through lawyer or through siblings. Such things cannot
on social media.
They cannot, because IPOB leadership have been messaging IPOB members. They don't publish it. So if that thing continues, it means that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have lost the capability to lead IPOB, because his capability is to communicate us through a rightful channel. If he have determined to use the other way around, it means that no and will not accept it. In IPOB chain of command, in everything we do, there is no 100 men. And the 100 men can be created by our leader in his office to operate and handle things for him, not to be leading IPOB.
Yes, at this juncture, I think we have to start rounding up this program. We have to start rounding up. I promise that if at your request, Biafrans, we will be coming back later in the evening. So, but if you want us to come back later in the evening, you can send us, if you can send a message, you can comment, you can put your post on BTV and any of our platform. Tell us how you want us to continue in the evening with this program, and we promise we're going to make it up. Mazi Abuchi, if our people communicate to us that they want us to continue in the evening, will you be available to appear again? Mazi Abuchi, are you available for evening program if our people request? Okay, so we have to round up the program. I want to say thank you, Biafrans all over the world. I want to thank you for your calls. I want to thank you for your comments. I want to really appreciate you for staying with us for these 3 long hours in this wonderful episode. And I can promise that at your request, we are going to be back later in the evening at your request. If you say we should come back to continue, considering the fact that today is a holiday, I believe that everybody is available to listen. So at your request, we'll be coming back later in the evening, and I promise that we'll deliver as usual. Just like we said, we are not here to battle our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or anybody, but we are here to make sure that we create an institution, we insist on the institution that we have, because the resources at our disposal, the amount of resources in Biafran land is not the amount of resources one individual can handle. It's impossible. It is only the resources that institution can handle. And that is why we are making it, putting all the necessary instruments on the ground today for that future that is about to come. For many of you who think Biafra will not come, it will come. And whatever we do today will reflect on our future decisions. And whatever decision we make today also will determine the future we are going to build. Until I meet you again, thank you, Mazi, Fearless Evangelist. Thank you, Biafrans all over the world. I want to say thank you once again and have a wonderful Easter celebration wherever you might find yourself. And God bless you all.
The bricks. Something. Oh na 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 na. Watch it out. Watch me far away, see me far away. Shabada, tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have, because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, so go learn to pretend. Do not run away. Kind of over than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I know. Ohaneze Ndigo, how una dey? I don't come to speak my mind with no delay. Let them know say una eyes clear about una way. Watch out, many things they happen in that country you dey. So some people trouble upon people every day. Even when you dey, you go talk say you know dey. I need to understand why this one bad. I need to understand why this truth apart. The promise that we got and nationalize. The promise we will live and no complaints. Watch me far away. Watch me far away. See me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have, because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Oh, make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend. Oh, do not run away. Kind of over than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I know. Samada, cha cha cha, kick Boomba. I come back again to tell people, say, now here we dey. We don't come to stay. I say no retreat, no surrender. We're living big, but no arrange. Look at the soldiers killing innocent Biafrans every day. Look at the Islamists killing innocent Christians every day. It depends me, yo. It depends me, yo. It depends me, yo. Chukwoki kobiama, materanyo senye maka, materanyo senye maka. I know ginaka, che. That is why I say, that is why I talk, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I talk, that is why I know. Mohamadike one Umu Biafra nile Anyisigi gabaniru Onya kaya docha Weli feneme Onye naya nejuno yine Chuku kwa mawaja You are whiter than snow Oku gibesi oku We stand where you stand We say no secret trial Onyinye chuku Ezosika, Osiki, Mohamadike, no secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young, Osiki, Mohamadike, Osiki, Jisike, Mastus, Ejike, Koli, Osiki. One day, Puje Bije, Sikwa, no Welly Feneme. O weli fena fio, o weli fena ko. Ezi wanem Victor Chimezie Okorochukwu Igbo Network Television London Osiki Jisike Na hakugi nazu Umu Biafra nile Gedine nuwa Asiki gabaniru No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial Hey! Tile Watch me far away See me far away Tell me what you saw I will show you what I have Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. Find us over Daniel. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I know. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is